about to give a stirring eulogy to Tom Shales. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on a choice pick them. A mandate, get it on. Orny Adams.
It's a mandate now, right?
Mandate to get it on. You do not have a choice. Orny Adams in studio. Always great to see Orny. Orny's got live dates all over the place, man. Traverse City, Michigan. City Opera House, la-di-da. Yeah. January 20th, and it's heading to the Chicago Improv. Be January 25th through the 27th. You can go to ornyadams.com for all the live dates. Great stand-up comedian, so go out and check him out. Also, the podcast, What's Wrong with Orny Adams, which I've been a guest on, and we enjoy doing it from his Aerostream Streamliner trailer.
Shasta.
In his backyard. Awesome. All right, so first, sad news, Tom Shales, syndicated critic. Back when critics were critics. Yeah. You know, now everyone who has a phone and is 13 and a half is a fucking critic. But critic used to be a job.
Yeah.
And they had a few of them. And Tom Shales was one of them. I think he was
for the Washington Post.
Washington Post.
From 77 to 2010. Got the Pulitzer Prize for criticism in 88.
For criticism.
That's right.
That's so funny.
Hey, I don't like the way those pants look on you.
Yeah.
Where's
guess
my
what?
Pulitzer?
You just won a Pulitzer Prize.
That's right. So it is one of my claims to fame that he did a long critique of the Man Show back when it hit the air.
Oh.
And every couple of years I dust it off just because it really brings me joy.
Okay.
And I'm not looking for fives. I'm looking for ones and tens. I'm not looking for C's. I'm looking for A's and F's. You know what I mean?
You're saying in your own life.
In my own life.
So, okay, so when you do stand-up...
Well, in my own life, I'll accept a C and I'll accept a 5. But when it comes to how you feel about me, I'd much rather hear about a 10, and then my second favorite would be a 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Doesn't bother you. Somebody doesn't like you.
I don't know. My feeling is when the critique gets too over the top, then it loses its relevance.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I've had I might be arguing with some high school friend of mine and they'll go, you know what? You're a loser. And I'll go like, you know, we're standing in my warehouse and we're leaning against my Lamborghini, but I can't be defined as a loser. I could be defined as many other things, but loser, like people go hard in the paint. And you know, they'll do that too. Well, they'll go like, oh, you know, Adam Carolla, not funny, unfunny. That guy's the least funny guy. It's like I've been being paid to be funny for 30 years. There's got to be, you can't talk me into being a loser or out of thinking I'm funny. Now, that doesn't mean I'm as successful as many other people who do funny.
But that doesn't mean you're not as funny. And that's my biggest grievance with the community of comedy.
Yes.
You know, we love having comedy fans, but we don't need you to chime in all the time. Mm-hmm. You don't need to say this person stole this joke from that person. You don't know. You don't know what topics are just generic topics that everybody's covering. And the other thing is, anytime anybody says, like, you're just not funny, it's subjective. You can't say, you could say it's not funny to me.
Well, also, if you make your living being funny, it'd be like saying, you're just not a contractor. And you go, I got 3 trucks and that's how I make my living. So you can't talk me out of being a contractor. You could say you're a shit contractor and I'd go, okay, but my calendar's stacked up for the next year with jobs. So you can say whatever you want, but this is how I make my living, you know, but that's fine. But Tom Shales went hard and big. And he went so big with the Man Show that he left Jimmy alone at a certain point and he focused on me.
Oh.
And he even fragged Dr. Drew in it. And he wasn't even, his marching orders was write a review of the Man Show, but he also spun into Loveline as well. And when I heard about his death, because Man Show producer Danny Two Sheets Kellison sent a group text that he died at 79. I don't wish ill upon anybody, but he passed at 79. They thought, Adam's going to rejoice, but really he was the source of much entertainment for me.
I'm excited to hear this clip.
And I'm gonna set the table to say I don't think you can get worse. You could tie it, but I don't know that you're going to get worse
as
in terms
far as
of a review.
What? His criticism or the quality of it? Are you
the criticism, because at a certain point you move away from the subject and you start steering it toward the individual.
What year was this?
Oh, man. Must have been the year the Man Show debuted. I don't know, maybe 99. I don't remember.
This was for the Washington Post?
And he syndicated.
Okay.
So it went everywhere.
He just didn't want to cover this. He felt like it was beneath him.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if he didn't want to cover it because he dedicated 7 pages to it. But this is back when a review meant something, and a Tom Shales review meant something, and it would get picked up and it would syndicate. So this was everywhere. And it was probably the first Man Show review. I was delighted because when I was watching football with the boys on Sunday, I said, Tom Shales passed, and everyone went, oh, yeah. And then I said to my 17-year-old son, find the Tom Shales review of the Man Show and just read it to everyone aloud at this table. And he laughed his goddamn ass off. All right, Dawson has it. For those who've heard it before, sorry, but the man passed, and we owe him a tribute.
Tom Shales on the air. Man Show takes cable to new low. It is a time of abundance. It is a time of emptiness. It is a time of diversity. It is a time of sameness. It is a time of knowledge. It is a time of being really dumb and proud of it. Yes, perhaps paraphrasing the opening of A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens is too lofty a way to get into a column about how barren the airwaves and cable waves are. But then, Dickens is long dead and cannot protest. If he were alive and turned on his TV set, he would be too appalled to speak and probably drop right dead again. How sad that with all those hours and all those channels to fill, cable keeps coming up not with innovative and adventurous fare, but with more and more frivolous time wasters. Cable's goal is apparently to lower the common denominator beneath anything the broadcast networks were able to do during their 4 decades of dominance. Among the latest cases in point, The Man Show, a hapless, reactionary fun fest that airs Wednesday nights on cable's Comedy Central.
Oh, I will say this too, Orny.
Yeah.
When the show turns out to be wildly successful, it also takes some of the sting off the critiques.
Right. And
you know what I'm saying?
I bet your numbers today would measure up against NBC, CBS, ABC. I bet you had pretty high numbers, right? What were you getting? A couple of million? Or
we get like 3 million, I think. You got to ask.
I think networks
we did really
kill
good
for that
Oh,
now.
yeah, now. All right, continue, Dawson. Sorry.
This is the network that made a name for itself with South Park, a crudely drawn and even more crudely written cartoon about foul-mouthed tots and talking feces. Yes, really. The Man Show stoops low, too, presenting itself as an alleged tonic for the excessive feminization of pop culture. It's a kind of talk variety half-hour co-hosted amateurishly by like-minded clods.
Oh, you laughed over like-minded clods.
Yeah, amateurish.
Yes.
Yeah.
By like-minded clods.
Well, one of those amateurs hosting the Oscars for a 4th time.
Yeah.
Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel. Kimmel. They bumble through a mismatch of skits that try to be funny by ripping off, among others, David Letterman and MTV's Mad Maverick Tom Green.
It's funny, he likes Tom Green, but he hates South Park. Now, South Park's going on year 26.
Yeah.
Too, so he's kind of 0 for 2, but all right.
There's a hint of wit to what Letterman and Green do.
A hint.
But none to what Carolla and Kimmel perpetrate.
By the way, Green's claim to fame is putting shit on the end of a microphone and interviewing people. So don't give me the high and mighty talk here, Shales. You just made fun of South Park for their talking shit. And Green's breakout bit was putting shit on a microphone and trying to interview people on the street.
You feel Shales contradicts himself.
In this case,
Yeah.
yes.
He did call Tom Green a maverick.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He called me a clod.
I do. Tom Green, I love. I think he's funny.
Yeah.
Do you not love him?
No, I like Tom Green.
I think if he had come out 10 years later with the internet, he would have gone
Probably.
Yeah.
Although 10 years later, everyone was doing crazy shit too. So
Right.
now it's tough. Hey, Byron, you had a bunch of stuff on my screen and then you took it off. I I never understand that part of this show.
It was referencing the article, and Dr. Dawson got to it, so I removed it.
And what else was on the screen?
Just that I found it.
What else was on the screen? Nothing? Didn't have that thing about Fast and Furious on there? No? Yeah, you did. All right. Anyway. Continue.
There's a hint of wit to what Letterman and Green do, but none to what Carolla and Kimmel perpetrate on their pathetic weekly half-hour sort of poker game without cards or chips. They think they're extolling the primal pleasures of being male by referring to women as broads and belching on camera. But they just flail, fizzle, and flop horribly. This is not so much a show as a car crash. Carolla already has one disreputable series on the air.
Oh, no.
In MTV's Loveline, a late-night talk show in which viewers phone in for advice about their sexual problems. A smugly preening Dr. Drew attempts to answer their questions.
You know, Drew, he's a peacock. All he does is preen.
While Carolla croaks out Neanderthalian gags.
Neanderthalian gags. I'm glad they had bits back then.
Yeah.
You know, number one. Number two, I've known Drew for 28 years. I've never seen him preen.
Yeah, it's not the word that comes to mind.
He's the opposite of preener.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he smugly preens.
The whole thing is a wallowing exercise in communal embarrassment that makes the Jerry Springer Show look like a Harvard seminar.
Wow.
Lacking showmanship, taste, cleverness, class, and even simple telegenetic visual appeal, i.e., he's a creep.
Uh-oh. Keep going.
Carolla
All
is
right,
perhaps...
now listen. Now look. Comedians, by and large, are not matinee idol good looks. For, traditionally, they're not the best-looking guy.
Yeah, I mean...
In the world.
That's why they went into comedy.
Right. That's why you go into comedy. I would argue, 25 years ago, when I was doing the Man Show, I would have been in a category of attractive comedian for comedians.
Really? So
not for leading man.
Okay, I get. Okay, so if a leading man, who can we use as an example?
John Hamm.
Okay, if John Hamm is a 10,
yes,
then what are you weighted? Like, what's a 10 comedian? Like, what is, like if you're a 7, does that make you a 10?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm up against Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. He's never mentioned in the.
No, what I'm saying is, comedians historically are shorter, wider, baldinger.
Yeah, like a John Panette has a body for stand-up comedy. He has a face.
Yes. He's saying I'm a creep and I'm not good looking enough for TV, but I'm not in a soap opera. I'm doing a sketch comedy
and let me
show.
explain why it works when you're not so attractive as a stand-up comedian. Because if you're very good looking, if you're a hot guy and you're up there complaining about rubber bands, people think your life is too good.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear about this.
Sit down, John Hamm.
Yeah.
You probably have a rubber band wrangler.
Yeah, right. So
you're getting your dick sucked in the next room. They're counting rubber bands in the kitchen.
You're right. You're right back to that character that Shale is discussing.
You may be right. You may be right.
You've reverted. You've gone back.
I sunk down.
Yeah. You don't need to do that. You're not
All right. Sorry.
Carolla is perhaps the perfect symbol for the new age of anybody can be on TV.
Well, that's true. I agree with that.
That's a point. Yeah.
Perhaps he is ideally suited to co-host The Man Show, as he seems to represent the species at some previous pre-literate evolutionary stage. He looks like he's reached the 3rd or 4th plateau in poor Larry Talbot's transformation into a werewolf in the old Universal Wolfman pictures.
All right. So now the review of The Man Show spun off into a review of my physicality.
I don't know why they don't just call this the missing link.
Yeah.
It appears you're,
I also
barely upright.
I had a theory that Tom Shales was gay and secretly attracted to me.
Okay.
Like when you're on the schoolyard and you tug on the girl's ponytail, but you like her.
Do you think?
I think that's what this is.
Or you embody something that he can't be.
Well, Tom Shales was not an attractive man. So
Can we see a picture of him that's not in black and white or a sketch?
there's probably that. Byron, didn't you have something about Fast 7 on the screen there that I was talking about?
I hope so. Let's talk Fast 7.
I got the picture you wanted.
No, but I'm really talking about my screen here. I thought that was something. Just go ahead and write Fast 7 on the screen. Do that. Okay. There we go.
You're so right, boss.
What am I right about?
I did have Fast 7 on the screen. You're right.
Right, and then you erased it, right?
I'm stupid.
No,
That's
I'm just
okay.
saying you erased it, and then I said you erased it, and then you said, no, I didn't. And then yesterday, Dawson gave you an email that had something on it, and you said, no, he didn't. Just get out of the no, he didn't mode and get into the little bit of the, oh, maybe I did.
Am
Or
I
let me
watching
look into
somebody
it.
getting fired in real time?
No, I'm just
this
saying.
is exciting.
Everyone's default setting can't be fuck off. It has to be like, oh, maybe something happened.
Yeah.
Let me check it.
I saw that email. It was confusing.
Thank you.
What was confusing about the email?
Because Dawson didn't send the video. He's like, please get this video of Paul Giamatti's pizza. And then he just went tmz.com. Usually we send the link of the video.
Right there on the front page.
No, I could send you a video. Like,
How did he get the first? Then my question is, how did he get the first one?
I feel like I'm at an office party where people are drinking too much and saying what's on their mind.
No, I'm not saying, Dawson, I'm not saying you're wrong. He should have asked, hey, I don't see the video. But it was confusing based on the system that we do have that it wasn't there. So I think these are two different things.
Yesterday was hectic.
No. It's not two different things, because when somebody says, hey, I sent you this, or I talked about this, or I do this, you should go, let me check.
Yeah.
Not no.
It should have been followed up with.
It shouldn't be buzz off. It should be, well, hold on, let me check the email.
There was no buzz off. Was there?
No is buzz off. No is buzz off. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's what no means. It means no.
All right.
Don't have a no chambered. Have a I don't remember, but let me check. Chambered.
I'm not disagreeing with
No,
you.
the email is straighter forward than how you depicted it.
Who are we mad at now? We start with Ben.
Well,
Are we mad at Chris?
we're mad at everyone under 40.
Okay.
That's number one. Because everyone under 40 just goes, no, and then you never said it. I didn't get it. You didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I always go, oftentimes it turns out they're wrong. I'm saying
We just saw it in real time with Fast and Furious, right?
Yes, I said you put it on the screen, and he said no. But he did.
Yeah.
Which makes me think I have a brain tumor, because I thought I was looking at the screen. And then Chris defending it is the second person we're angry
That
at.
was a dumb move. I saw it in real time ago. What is Chris doing? And it felt like you were throwing Dawson under the bus.
I wasn't throwing Dawson under the bus. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I just don't
confusing.
think I didn't think it was the same thing. Like, you added it. Like, you did this and you did that, which are the same thing. And it's a big
once
difference.
again-
It's you saying no immediately when somebody says, I think I saw this or I sent this. You just go, no.
And once again,
That's the same thing.
Ben keeps his job. He's over there celebrating.
You just go, I don't remember, let me check.
Yeah,
That's all.
I said that he should have followed up with a follow-up question. Like,
It's
hey,
the same in the fact that I said something and he said no reflexively. And Dawson said something yesterday and he said no reflexively. That's
Okay.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
The problem is don't say no, especially if you're talking to smart people. Go, hold on, I don't remember, but let me
Dawson.
check. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what no one under 40.
I think you're right. The Tom Shales article
days.
doesn't affect you, Adam. I
You
think
can find. We'll find Dawson's email later, but go ahead.
Carolla and Kimmel called
That'll be for you, Chris, because he did do
Let's
a second
go.
part. Go get
Let's
it.
freaking
Get
go.
Get the email.
I'll pull it up right now.
Pull it up right now.
What is the email about?
He wanted a clip yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
That didn't make any sense, so at least we got that covered. But it was Paul Giamatti.
That's a whole nother
talking
story.
about pizza in a
Yeah, we
bag,
needed
which is
this clip.
another, we didn't need. But Dawson had an angle. His angle was a strange angle, but the point is the email said something about pizza in the bag, and then it said something about his
Here
speech.
you want to do this now?
Dawson's email, yes.
Okay, so Dawson was covering for the news, Orny, and when we have news clips, we will send Byron the link for the video, maybe a time code. Please cut it from this to here,
Yeah.
and we'll play it during the news. So Dawson will send the clips of whatever he wants. Usually it's the exact video. So he sends an email. Byron, grab the vids of the pizza in a bag being handed out by Paul Giamatti mentioning pizza in a bag. Thanks, bro. Edit out the TMZ thing if you can, please. And then he links to TMZ.com, which is a constantly updated website. So that's why usually Dawson would send the exact video or the exact link. So when Byron had to pull it, he was confused. Now, in Dawson's defense, I told Byron, you should have followed up with a, hey, this link doesn't go to this particular video. Can you please explain what that...
Also, Chris, you got to read very clearly because what you read is not what I wrote.
That's what I'm saying.
Byron, grab the vids of the pizza in a bag being handed out and Paul Giamatti mentioning pizza in a bag.
I said that.
That's
not what you said.
Not what you said.
I read it. What do you mean?
You didn't read the second part.
I would just like to show the difference
didn't
between...
read
The Paul Giamatti thing. You made the Paul Giamatti thing.
You made it
what
into one video.
Made it sound like I sound stupid. Yeah, you made it into one video.
I just want to
You
point...
didn't read the second part.
There's a very clear difference between Chris's emails and Dawson's emails.
Yeah, I would go with that. Why not the second part? You didn't read the second. You just said you read the second
Byron
part.
grabbed the vids of the pizza in a bag being handed out and Paul Giamatti mentioning pizza in a bag.
Yeah, you left off the Paul Giamatti.
That part is irrelevant.
Why'd you leave it off? Read the whole
I misread
email.
it, but it's irrelevant to the argument.
You said you said the whole email. You didn't.
Oh my. Okay, now this is a whole different argument.
No, it's not. It's and him mentioning it. That's the part we lost.
No, the part was yesterday. Dawson asked, "Hey, get the Paul Giamatti video," and then Byron said, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Byron said that wasn't that you didn't tell me that.
He said no.
Yeah, okay. Well, whatever. He said no. He didn't have it, right?
Right. The first thing that came up was the Oprah Winfrey videos.
I'm confused. Is Ben getting fired now, or is Chris?
No,
What?
Chris? You just
So
did
let's
Chris, you just doubled down. You just read half the email and then said you read the whole
Because
email.
that's not the point of this email.
Well, you're supposed to read the email.
You're right. Okay. I missed the
And
word.
you just said you said it. No, and the second part, that was the problem part, was the second part.
No, the problem is he
Right,
didn't have
you're-
any of the video.
No, he had the first video.
He had the first part. He didn't have the second
He
part.
didn't get the second video of Paul Giamatti accepting his award.
I had to get that on the fly.
Okay, then I don't know. Sorry.
That's it. Yes.
You just did it again.
We all could have done a little better.
Now I'm just severely confused.
No. Look, I'm gonna lay it out because this is my job, and then we're gonna get right back to Orny Adams and why he doesn't feel fulfilled.
I
with his life.
so
I'm so sorry.
confused. I don't.
It was two videos that Dawson wanted. All right, he wanted video of them handing out the pizza to the crowd.
In plastic bags.
Yes, which was weird. But we'll save that for another day.
Okay.
The whole news story was terrible.
Well, the thing is Dawson was saying to me, do you see the whole pizza in a bag of pizza? And I'm picturing a pulverized pizza in a sack, like what you'd feed your dog if he were healthy, and keeping the fridge. I was like, why would you hand out with handfuls of pizza in a sack? But
I didn't do too much prep
it
on
was
the news.
slices of pizza in a sleeve.
I saw this.
All right.
I went to TMZ.com.
Let's not,
it was on the front page.
Listen,
Boom,
let's not
do
get
it.
mired here. Here was the problem. The problem was it's two parts. Dawson wanted them handing out pizza in a bag, and then he wanted Paul Giamatti's speech, mentioning it, acceptance speech, part 2 video. So we had part 1 video, and when Dawson says, now where's Paul Giamatti's acceptance speech, Byron said, you didn't ask for that. And then Dawson read the text or the email that said, yes, part 2 is and Paul Giamatti talking about it.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
And then, so it is the same, which he got the email, but he only did the top part of the email. Now, there may be protocols and things I don't know, but there was a second part that said, and the speech, which you conveniently left off of your retelling of it as well.
That really hurt my argument.
Well, and then you said you read the whole email, but you didn't. The bottom part is the crucial part. That's the part. See,
the part I had issue with was the link that was sent. That was.
Well, Dawson should have sent a link or whatever.
Yeah. No
but
problem.
He's not the news guy.
I went to TMZ.com. It was there. I thought it when I looked at it, they immediately followed each other.
Here
I
are
didn't
Chris's
think
emails.
that they're constantly updating. So in
All
the
right.
future, I'll go specific.
All right, now what's
I'm shocked that there's this much preparation that goes
This
into
is-
the
I
show.
know,
Really,
that's the scary
there should be a
incredible.
weekly reading of the emails, the Carolla office
here,
emails.
look, as a person under 40, Adam Dawson, I'm sorry. All right.
thank you.
Well,
I'm
I'm
just
gonna-
saying. Look, someone could walk up to me and go, "You didn't graduate from North Hollywood High," and I'd go, "Let me check." I wouldn't just go, "No." Just no. It's a reflexive no. That's the problem. The problem is always in the, I don't think that's right, but let me check. Or let me look into it.
And as a person
It's a
under
better
40,
way.
I'm really sorry to Orny.
What's that?
I'm sorry to you for having to sit through this.
I don't know what's happening.
I
I think
know.
this is
I'm
shocking.
I'm saying there's a weird epidemic of no, and it should stop.
I just
or
wanna
they
talk
say
about Fast 7.
got it or no problem.
Let me check.
No. They
I will
always say
accept the let
done,
me check.
Done. People like
Yes,
to say done.
Yes, it's bad. Just go no, because that's you just pushing
But
the
in
person
all
off.
fairness, a lot of your employees you get from the equivalent of outside of Home Depot.
You think these guys could stack cinder blocks?
No,
Give
I'm
me
just
a
saying.
fucking
No,
break, Arnie.
no,
that
then-
is an insult to
I'm
all my
just saying,
Spanish-speaking
these
brethren.
guys, you're not going to the top tier recruiting employment center.
I was poached from
This-
another
I-
studio.
Were you really?
Yeah.
You're not like a Craigslist employer. You're not
sir.
like a super fan.
No,
Okay.
I'm saying for everybody
What show were you poached from?
for the sake.
What show?
Gas Digital Network.
Which one?
You know, Big J. Okerson and
Yeah.
Luis Gomez
Yeah.
and them over there. Yeah, that whole company. I work
Wow,
with.
it's a
All
big.
right.
That's a big pull.
For the
Adam.
sake.
This is almost like when Stuttering John was stolen by the Tonight Show. This is very
That was
similar.
the craziest thing ever, was it not?
It really was.
All right, I'm just saying, for the sake of everyone, if somebody tells you something, just be in a mode where you go, "Let me check."
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, can we
be in the-
rehearse this?
Don't be in the off mode. Now, what just happened to me is I have a screen here with shit that reminds me to talk about, and it said Tom Shales, and it said Fast 7 under it, and then I said, and then it went blank, which I always say you don't need to do because you can just leave it on there, but it went blank, and then it got rid of the Fast 7 thing, which I want to get into too. So that we've relived it. We'll move on.
Byron, please read my email where I submitted this for most uncomfortable moment.
We'll move.
In the A's Awards.
we were
Hold
gonna
on, look at
visit
this. Look at
in
this.
December.
Look at this.
So
Wow,
exciting.
Fast 7. He
Such-
made a note.
There it
Already
is.
wrote Fast 7 on the butt
Old
slip.
news. The old way we did it.
All right, here we go. We'll continue, Dawson.
Is he still with the company?
Starting tribute to Tom Shales.
Carolla and Kimmel called their program, quote, a joyous celebration of chauvinism, presumably male chauvinism, but there's really nothing joyous about it. Desperate would have been a more apt adjective. On the premiere, one taped segment featured Kimmel out on the street asking female passersby to have sex with him. The surprise is no one clobbered him over the head or called a cop. In addition to chauvinism, the show celebrates such supposedly man-pleasing topics as flatulence, voyeurism, beer guzzling, and belching. One segment is called Drunks Do the Darndest Things.
It's not bad.
Everywhere
I know,
you
it's
look,
funny.
Could sell that now.
Guy ate a whole cube of butter and then vomited it up 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
everywhere
It's
you
good TV.
look,
Yeah.
there's a pretty girl in a bikini. Oh, that's horrible. And while many are indeed ogle-worthy, you may begin to feel sorry for them and sorry that they must pretend to enjoy being exploited. Cable TV promised us a new video universe with something for every taste. What that meant, apparently, was every kind of bad taste. In this pursuit, Comedy Central leads the way, right off a cliff and into the abyss.
Is that
So,
the end? Is that the
Orny,
end?
does it get worse than
Guys,
that in the
wordsmith.
review department?
It actually was so like meaty. Like it's reading a dense text. It's like reading the Odyssey. I would have to stop, look up words.
Yeah.
I would have to sort of go back.
Who knew the name of the actor who played the Wolfman in 1931?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
preening.
Smugly preening Dr.
To me,
Drew.
that reads sort of gay, right? Is that?
I think he was gay, and I feel like he had a crush on me.
He might have had a crush on Dr. Drew. I feel like he was calling
that's
out
true.
preenings.
Yeah.
You know, that's.
He said I lack showmanship. I just come out there with a cane.
So
hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime doll. Spats.
Where were you when this review came out? Like, did people hide it from you? Did you read it on your own? Did somebody have to present it to you?
Oh my God! I think when I got to the office, Daniel rushed to the office, rushed out at me and threw it in my face because I know he would have done that because I did this show. I've done TV shows that I literally don't remember doing anymore, that I forgot about. One of them was this stupid like gotcha show called like Red Handed or something, and I was just doing voiceover over these video clips. You know, there'd be some video surveillance camera or some Taco Bell employee taking a piss into the sink or something, and it'd go like "Got you red-handed" or something, and then I was the voiceover. It was untitled. I didn't put my name on it. I'd just go, "Oh, look at you, gotcha. Next time, use the mop bucket, bro." And Jeff Ross used to write some of the jokes and stuff, and I recorded it. Loveline. Anyway, Daniel, the Man Show producer, is like, "What are you doing with this show?" And I was like, "What am I doing with the show? It's $800 a week, you know, or like whatever it was." I was like 10 minutes from doing construction, you know, and he's like, "You're making an ass of yourself on doing this stupid dumb video, hidden gotcha show, you know, whatever." And I said, "Daniel, no one knows it's me. My name's not on it. And who cares?" And then like, I don't know, 2 months later, some New York Post like article came out, a review, and it said like Carolla makes ass of himself doing stupid video show. And Daniel printed up like 80 of them and taped them.
Can I tell you why?
Taped them all over the office. Yeah.
Can I tell you why?
Yeah.
Daniel leaked it.
Oh, see, that's why you're here.
Yeah. I have the clarity to see.
You know.
Yeah, this guy set you up. You didn't listen to him. So I'm going to show him.
Yeah.
I am going to show him. I'm surprised Daniel didn't contact Tom Shales and say,
he very may well have.
By the way, saw Dr. Drew preening around here the other day. And the unsophisticated Adam Carolla. On The Office, we call him, we all roll our eyes when the unsophisticated, rogue, flatulent
Claude.
beard.
He's a like-minded Claude.
Yeah, you're Claude. I don't even know what that is. To me, that says you're kind of Dutch-like.
All right. Now, I got some, I had a weird experience last night. So I was sitting home watching the Emmys, and I was just sitting there.
Did they do the tush push there too? Or
at the Emmys?
Yeah.
I think, oh God, what's his name from Drag Strip?
RuPaul?
RuPaul may have done some tush pushing over there. I'm sitting there, so I was sitting there watching it, and I'm making notes for the show prep.
Yeah.
If you've learned nothing from today,
I'd love to see that group email.
I'm writing down my notes. And I'm looking at Joel McHale do an introduction. Yeah. And then I'm watching Anthony Anderson. Edward, wait a minute. Yeah. There's Anthony Anderson. Yeah, Anthony Anderson. He's hosting the show. Mm-hmm. And then I'm seeing cutaways of Jimmy in the crowd and stuff. And then I'm sitting there and I'm going, I know all these guys.
Right.
And then I think, well, I should send like Jimmy a text going, sorry about not winning or something.
Okay. Yeah.
And then my next thing pops in my head goes, don't fucking leave them alone. They're busy. You know, what do they care? But I sat there and I thought, I'm just going to tell these guys like, hey, Joel, good job.
Yeah.
With the introduction thing or the next category, whatever. And so I reached out. And then after that was over, I started watching Fast and Furious 7.
Yeah.
And I saw some stuff that was curious. Mm-hmm. When I know Chris Morgan, the guy who writes it, so I started texting him about certain stuff.
Oh,
I was on a roll.
You went nuts. Your ego was like, I can't be there. I'm not part of the group. But look at son. They're going to respond to my text.
Well, it's crazy because they all answered. Like,
oh, they did?
Yes.
Wow.
I know. I mean,
What was your beef with Fast 7?
Oh, all right. We need to take a break, but I forgot about this, and I'll read you the text and response.
And I just want to say this before we go to break, because I do that too. When I see, like, there was a comedian And I'm not going to say who it is, but clearly this comedian's not happy with me. I don't know what I did, but he wouldn't even say hi to me at the club the other day. But I had texted him a few weeks ago when I saw him in something, and I said something because I remember when I was hanging out with Seinfeld one time, and he said, I do shows. I'll be like, go on the Tonight Show, and nobody texts me the next day or communicates or calls them or whatever the technology was at the time. So I always send something. So even like when Joe Coy hosted the Golden Globes a couple weeks ago, I felt like maybe he would need some support.
I wanted to do that, except for Chris tells me he changes his number like every 2 weeks.
Oh, I don't know, but it said delivered, and I said, hey, if you want to grab lunch sometime, let's do it. I didn't want to. Right. That was my way of saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. Yeah. Here to support you. All right.
Well, I should have. I was going to do that with Joe Coy, but he says he always changes his number, right?
Well, let's text him right now, you and I, and see who he gets back to faster.
Yeah. I have 3 versions of his number.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll pick the middle one and see if he gets back.
I think that this is a new show. You versus guest. And we text famous people that we know in common and see who gets back faster.
All right.
To that person. I guarantee I'll lose.
I don't know, because I don't text Joe Coy. I just see him when I see him.
Yeah, but he would respect you enough.
Oh,
nobody.
Certainly.
Yeah, I don't. Nobody gets back to me. I mean, I could tell you right now.
I got back to you with like a word.
Yeah, a word, like a period, not even like an emoji.
Syllables. All right, hold on. All right, listen. We need to take a break.
We do need a break.
We'll come back with Orny Adams, and I'll tell you about these texts right after this. Well, let me tell you about Hydro's state-of-the-art at-home rowing machine. How do I know? Because I own one. Delivers the ultimate full-body workout. Works 86% of your muscles. Only takes 20 minutes. Low impact, low-risk injury. Workouts are taught by Olympians and world-class athletes. Filmed all over the world. It's beautiful. You look at the screen, you don't know where you are. You think you're going down a river in some exotic locale. It's outside, not some studio. It just looks amazing. Hydro keeps you motivated. 90% of the customers are still active 1 year later. Free standard shipping, 30-day risk-free trial, and no excuses. You just put it in your spare bedroom and go at it for 20 minutes a day or do it in front of the TV, which I do sometimes as well. It works. I stand by it. I use it. It's a full-body workout in 20 minutes. It's Hydro, right, Dawson?
Join the growing rowing community at Hydro. Head over to hydro.com and use code Adam to save up to $500 off your Hydro. That's HYDROW.com, code Adam, to save up to $500. Hydro.com, code Adam.
Water has a warning label. Water has a warning. Look at all the writing on a bottle of water. Warning, do not swallow cap. I think we can afford to lose those people, right? Time to lose some of the cap swallowers. Now we're down to 6.5 billion. Do not refill. Because maybe some of us will figure out the old stuff tastes a lot like the new stuff.
Orny Adams is on the Adam Carolla Show.
All right, so first, I think we should do the fast 7.
Well, I want to say this because we did have some conflict with the employees, and I just, during the break, it seems like everybody's getting along, and I just want to point that out for the listeners that are concerned. It is tense. We've now worked 1 full day since our 3-day weekend. I got to tell you something. Last week I was sitting around going, when are we going to have a 3-day weekend? We've now worked almost 2 full weeks in 2024, and we haven't had a day off. I'm exhausted because I worked.
My kids had to go to school today.
Unbelievable. I mean,
they were outraged.
You have Thanksgiving, and then you have just a few days you have to work, and then it's Christmas, and then New Year's, and here we are. We had a partial week, the first week of 2024, and then 1 full week, and I thought, thank God, finally a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
Finally.
You can come up for air.
Yeah, just when people started to return my emails and text messages, people are screwing off again, leaving on the Thursday for the 3-day weekend, which makes it a 4-day weekend, coming back on Tuesday or Wednesday, making it a 5-day. I mean, we might as well just not work until, how about March?
We might as well just become Spain.
Yeah.
We just work, everything's closed at noon till 3 in the afternoon for a nap while everyone's home drinking red wine.
Yep. And here's what I've decided. You want to work from home? We pay you less. You come into the office where you're more productive. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I was on the phone with and technical support, and the lady was breastfeeding.
Oh, my goodness.
Breastfeeding.
Were you Skyping or how?
No, I just was like, sorry, I'm nursing.
Oh, no.
In the middle of...
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My modem isn't working.
Yeah, and she's breastfeeding.
She's breastfeeding.
She's nourishing your baby, and you can't get internet porn?
Yeah, what I'm saying is when you're in the office, you're getting more work done. There's people watching you. You do it from home. I'm sorry, but if you work for me and you're going to clean the counters in between or vacuum in between tasks, you're getting paid less. It's my new... I have a lot. I'm not running for anything, but I have a lot to say finally. Okay, here's another one.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Yeah.
I don't think most people should be raising their own kids. So I want to encourage giving your kid up for adoption. If you give your kid up for adoption and the kid is a success, you're entitled to 10% in perpetuity for the first 3 kids you give up for adoption. After that, we cut you off.
It's true because people who want to adopt are joining a self-selecting pool of people who want kids. You forgot to pull out. You were drunk. Now you got a kid, and you're clearly not interested.
Right.
There's no doubt that me and my sister would have been better off raised by strangers.
Right.
It's no doubt about it.
Elton John was adopted, and you have to imagine there's probably 2 parents or a couple in a trailer park in England going, it looks a little bit like you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's wearing your toupee.
Remember when he got dressed up as a baseball player? They were all doing it. Mick Jagger did it. Yeah.
I loved it. Well, that'll get us back to the Emmys because he won.
Elton did.
Yeah.
Another award.
He has an EGOT.
It's got an EGOT now.
You know what I wanted to ask you? And then I'll give you your show back.
Please. I mean, thank you.
Yeah, we'll edit that out. You know what I wanted to ask you? And then I'll give you your show back.
Yeah.
Was, who do you find more annoying? Who? Which couple? Taylor Swift and the football player?
Kelsey, yeah.
Or Prince Harry?
Prince Harry.
That's it?
Prince Harry. Because neither one of them does anything. The other 2 have a tangible skill.
Okay.
They create jobs. They create commerce. They give their long-haul truckers $1 million each.
Okay.
He fills stadiums. They have a tangible, viable skill. Nobody within 500 miles of where we're sitting could come close to doing to either what she does or he does. Anybody in this fucking building right now could do what those 2 fucking ne'er-do-well deadbeats do, which is sit around and complain about race all day.
I knew you'd have an answer.
You don't think I could show up at an Invictus game and just stand there and like applaud people that were missing a leg who just ran the 440?
I don't.
They do nothing.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
That's up. Now,
you're not bothered by Taylor Swift and the football player?
No, I'm not bothered by anyone who's making hay while the sun is shining. You're going out there, making money, creating jobs, paying taxes. I got no problems with you. Okay. Or winning football games or whatever it is. They're sitting home. They're sitting in fucking Santa Barbara complaining about racism.
But don't you think...
That's what they do.
Taylor Swift is preening a little bit?
She smugly preens from the skybox.
Yeah.
She does some
preening. That bothers you a little bit? Like, I'm so perfect and my life just got more perfect?
I try to steer clear of hating people just because they're so wildly successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. You're more evolved. You sit
at
home during the Emmys.
I'm turning into a werewolf. What do you mean more involved?
Well, you're more. That's Tom Shales 50 years ago. But now is now. You're sitting at home. You know you're not worthy of the Emmys.
No,
you're not.
Worthy.
You know you're not. You're part of the group, which reminds me of high school. I was tangentially part of the cool group.
Oh, you were?
Meaning I wouldn't have been invited to the high school Emmys,
Right.
but I was friends with all those people. And that's exactly what you are. That's what comedians are. We're not supposed to be part of the group.
That's right. All right. Now, back to Fast 7. So I just flipped it on, and it was the scene where Vin Diesel was talking to The Rock from his hospital bed because The Rock got busted up by Jason Statham. And he was recovering in a hospital bed. And I've seen the movie 25 times, but I always forgot this one part, which is he's laying in the bed, shirtless, by the way, no gown, because it's The Rock.
Yeah.
He's got the serving table with the bologna sandwich and the Jell-O there, but I forgot about something. So Byron will show us that. He's got a 45 or 44 Magnum revolver, just by the way, facing the door, just flopped out on the serving tray, leaning up against the Jell-O. And I
These people
thought,
after him.
I
at that
get it,
side
but
boob.
you know, hospitals have a lot of protocols. And you know, you go there and they take your underpants and your dungarees and your T-shirt and your socks and they put it in a Ziploc bag and they put your name on it. I don't care who you are in the law enforcement pecking order. I don't think you're allowed to have a loaded piece just flopped out on the
He's got his
table.
badge right there, though. I mean,
But like
clearly
when the
it's-
intern
it's
comes along
issued.
to move the tray, he's got to move your gun to the side. Maybe we'll put it in with your belongings, or maybe The Rock should stuff it under his pillow, because I feel like there's a lot of nurses. Chris knows nursing.
Yeah, I do.
I just feel the gun is literally facing the entrance of his room.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody would say something. That's all. And so I noticed it, and I thought, I'm on a roll. I'm going to send a text out to
Yeah,
Chris.
I
He
think you
wrote
should.
this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
your phone's already unlocked.
It takes you out of the moment, right, Adam? It decreases your believability in the film. You've lost trust.
Yeah, later on, when Vin Diesel is in Dubai jumping a supercar from one skyscraper to the next without any harm, it calls that into question.
Yeah.
So I just wrote him a text that said, watching Furious 7 on HBO, whoever had the idea of having Hobbs have his 45 Magnum on the tray next to the sandwich on the hospital serving tray needs a raise.
Needs a raise.
Yeah, because I thought it was a powerful statement. I know you thought I was going a different direction.
No, I think we all
thought-
did.
yeah.
I think we all did. And why does that?
He
what's the
wrote
state-
back and said, we're going for realism.
And did you respond like your little emoji or?
No, I didn't write that. Then I hit Joel McHale, who gave the speech last night or
Yeah.
presented an award.
Right.
And nicest. Here's how you know. This is why
You have this
Joel
guy
McHale-
on the hook and you've just let it go. You don't respond. You don't. Is there more to this conversation that
No,
you can't
with
divulge?
Chris. No.
Okay.
I just send him periodic stuff, and then he writes back short stuff.
Okay.
And that's our relationship.
Okay.
I mean, he knows.
I feel like he could write something for you. This could be your chance to.
He's a capable writer, and there is that. But no,
love
I
a
just
lot of his work,
I
yeah.
just sit back and bust his chops a little bit,
Okay.
and then he gets
Okay.
it.
Got it.
I wrote Joel. Great job tonight. Really funny. Just because it feels good, right?
Did you really believe that though?
I thought he did a great job. Yeah.
Okay.
Why, are you trying to undermine my relationship with
Well,
Joel McHale?
I just the way I read it, and sometimes I read like Chris. I read it differently. I have a different cadence. I have a different interpretation. To me, it's like really funny tonight. Meaning normally.
Normal. This has been a
Oh,
normal outing
once,
for
yeah.
you.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
hey, McHale, really? Is that his name, Joe McHale?
Yeah, he wrote back.
Sorry, no disrespect. I just thought of Kevin McHale.
He wrote back, thanks, brother. Thank you, seriously. Coming from you, that is high praise.
That's
Because
really
he's
nice.
a sweet guy.
Yeah.
No,
He's
that's
a very sweet guy.
Can I tell you something and
What
not
happened?
to bust your bubble?
Oh, no. What happened? I felt good about that.
That's AI generated.
Oh, he didn't write back.
No,
Wait,
that's
wait,
like
hold-
that's a Siri suggestion
No,
response.
he said this. And,
Copy, paste, copy, paste,
There's
copy,
more to
paste.
it. There's more to it. I don't think this could be AI.
Oh, AI is pretty sophisticated.
All right.
And Joel McHale, he's big time.
All right, it says, coming from you, that's high praise. Sorry for the delay in getting back to you. I was awash in yelling at people over loud music and drinking too much wine at a party. Yes, I'm 50. I'm a 52-year-old man. I thought this wasn't the midlife crisis I wanted. Now, that couldn't be AI, right?
It could.
At a party.
Yeah, it could because the phone listens, so it knows what's going on.
Oh.
But the first, with that, can I ask you a question? Was that the second text?
Is that a second
completely different?
separate bubble?
No, it was just connected.
It was connected.
Yeah.
That was thanks, brother, coming from you. Then sorry.
I just did what Chris did with the email. I just lopped off the bottom.
I don't like this.
I don't think that was all one paragraph. That was two different texts.
You do?
Right?
No.
Yeah. The first one was the AI generated one.
No, it's one big run-on.
Oh, you're right. Is there any liability into you reading personal text from these big-time celebrities like Joel McHale?
I think if that's complimentary and friendly and, no insider trading or anything.
Okay. Well, he's talking about drinking and all that sort of stuff. I see him as
drinking wine at a party. Okay. All right.
I know, but maybe he told his wife that he was
sober. Maybe he told his wife he was at home working. Yeah. No, I'm not going to any after parties. What if this leads to a divorce?
Yeah. So now the one I was really kind of thought about is I don't talk to Anthony Anderson that much, but I thought I'd just tell him good job.
How do you have these numbers?
Well, I had this funny story, which is a year ago. I was sitting at Jimmy's Christmas party, and I was sitting next to Anthony Anderson, who's famously in love with his mom, or they have this relationship, this ongoing thing going on. And I was explaining to him that my mom died, and that there was an issue. It was a conundrum now because my mom had died and I haven't told my kids. And it's been almost a year. Yeah. And I wasn't going to tell them at all. Yeah. And then, at some point they'd get into their 40s and do the math, But I realized that I got a text from my stepdad that said, coming over for Christmas tomorrow, hope I can bring my new girlfriend. In which case I remembered, as I was playing this out in my mind with Anthony Anderson, that I need to tell my kids in the next 14 hours because my stepdad's going to show up with a new grandma.
Right.
And he was laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
So he thought it was hysterical that I was going to have to take my two teenage kids and tell them that their grandma died 9 months ago when I hadn't told them before.
Right.
And he thought that was pretty outrageous and pretty insane. And he was laughing.
And so that got you his number? Is that all it takes?
Well, he was invested in this story.
He was invested in the story. He said, you got to call me tomorrow and tell me how it went.
But this wasn't a true story, right? Or was it?
No, it's true.
Why didn't you tell your kids?
They didn't really... there's no good answer other than my mom wasn't really, grandma material so much for them. They didn't see her for a while. And I was like, why bum them out? Why have an uncomfortable conversation,
Right. Huh. That's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
They didn't, in the 9 months, didn't try and call grandma?
No.
Weren't how come we didn't get a birthday gift from grandma?
No.
Did they ever talk to grandpa and grandpa didn't say, hey, yo, this is what's going on?
Not so much. But what ended up happening when I did then tell them is they were told that their mom told them 6 months ago, and I didn't know.
And they hid it from you.
Yeah.
The whole family's dysfunctional. And the kids didn't notice an uptick in lifestyle from the inheritance.
Why didn't you get that Rolls Royce?
Yeah, that boat. I didn't know Grandma was a boater.
What's the difference between a boat and a yacht? Because it seems like once you get past 30 feet, Dad, that's got to be a yacht. Yeah, and where's that new Rolex Submariner come from? No, they didn't notice the golden swizzle sticks I had lying around the house and all the big buku bucks. No, my mom didn't leave a big sack of cash.
Yeah, no, I assumed from all the stories
of that nature. Well,
government cheese you were raised on.
My mom lived in her grandmother's second house, and then when she died in her grandmother's primary house. So
that's not good for the value.
She just
Gotta
moved
die outside the house.
It'd be like she lived in one house that was her grandma's, and then when her mom died, she moved in to the other house.
Oh, my
mom wasn't a homeowner. Oh, well, she owned a home, but it was homes that her mom owned.
Yeah.
She didn't have a lot.
So your family all goes to this one home to die?
Yeah.
It seems like,
We're like Indians.
Yeah.
We know, and we go to the top of the mountain.
You're like those fish that swim upstream to just go
Salmon.
back. Yeah, to die where they were born. You're like a family of salmon.
Except for we don't spawn.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
What are they called? Hospice. You should just name that house.
We didn't. They don't all go to one house to die. My grandmother had a shitty valley house, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. But she had a smaller, shittier valley house that my mom lived in. And then once my grandmother died, my mom moved into the slightly less shitty house that grandma died in.
And what happened to the other house?
Sold it for $680,000, and they bulldozed it.
That's a mansion in other parts of the country. That's a lot of money.
Could you imagine buying a house in another part of the country for $680,000 and then bulldozed it?
Yeah.
They bulldozed it. And it wasn't even a big lot.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not a good sign when they bulldoze your house
No.
that you lived in.
Usually means infestation. Cockroaches.
It just means not worth saving.
Was grandma... Oh, really? Okay.
All right. So I hit up Anthony, and I said, you crushed it tonight.
Oh.
And your mom slayed. Speaking of moms, did you hear mine is dead?
That's funny.
And then he wrote back at 11 o'clock.
Wow, these people are bored.
From the party or whatever. Just ha, fucking hilarious.
That's great. What about Kimmel? Did we reach out to my favorite, Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, I just told him that, I told him you got robbed, but I got to stop watching the Emmys and get back to watching the football game before I go too gay.
Yeah, I assume you and Jimmy communicate almost daily, is what I assume.
No, he wrote back, blah blah, something. He wrote back.
Take a second.
Something quick. Not. I'll keep it confidential, but it was a sort of nothing burger. But then I wrote back, I'm watching Fast and Furious 7, so normally I wouldn't respond. But you and I go way back, so I'll make an exception.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You wrote that.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's a lot coming from Adam.
I know. I was watching Fast and Furious 7, and I was joking, but...
I know, but I mean, there's like punctuation in that text.
Oh, I can do it if I'm interested.
Yeah.
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 Like, I
All right, now, we got stuff to do, and I feel like all this Emmy talk, we should get to some Emmy stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess.
yeah.
I don't care about Hollywood. I never have. Is there a part of you that wishes you were there?
Anytime you watch anything like somebody hoist the Stanley Cup, you go, man, I wish I was hoisting the Stanley Cup, and somebody wins the Super Bowl, you go, I wish I win the Super Bowl. When they hand out an Oscar, I go, yeah, I wish I had an Oscar.
I'd rather host, I think.
No,
than
that's
be
pretty cool.
Seated there waiting to find out.
I don't, there's nothing I don't watch and enjoy where I go, I would like to have a closet full of Emmys or Oscars or whatever it is. I don't sit there and like opine on it and then be all sour grapey about it. I just sort of watch.
But you've been in this business many years, decades. You know it's not always the best person that wins. There's reasons people win.
Well, we're going to get into that.
Yeah, so... do they mean anything? Let's take this. Look at the Weinsteins when they had that studio. Okay, Miramax. They won a lot of awards. And this was because what? They entertained the right people. I mean, they were great films. But there are other great films.
Yeah, it's a combination of politics and product.
Okay, how about this? What about when diversity comes into a decision making? I can't imagine that would upset you.
I think you ruin your brand. I think you ruin it whether you're talking about, the first we're going to have the first black female vice president, you're ruining your brand. And I think you do it when you do it at the Oscars or the Emmys or when you're hiring airline pilots, like or being the president of Harvard or whatever it is. I think you hurt your brand. I think the reason the NFL is no one ever questions it. Everyone on the field belongs on the field. Or at least everyone on the field is thought to be the best player that they could possibly put on the field.
See, I always envied people like Marlon Brando that just didn't accept the award, sent in a Native American. In fact, I've come to find out that I actually won an award, didn't I, on this show?
Oh, yeah.
I suspect it was like a statuette or something.
Yeah. Well, Brando's Indian wasn't even a real Indian.
Oh.
See, everything is ruined.
Yeah, it's really just...
Her sister was like, "Oh, you mean Nancy from Encino?" Like, nah,
just part your hair like this.
Proudfoot. No, she wasn't even American Indian.
Wow.
So this shit started long before Elizabeth Warren. All right,
wow.
We'll take a break. We'll do a little Emmys. Maybe we'll do a little Hollywood hand-me-downs as well. We got the news. We got too much show. We'll do all that. It's the prep. We'll do all that right after this. Well, here's something Dr. Drew's into. The wellness company. Almost 90% of pharmaceuticals are produced outside the U.S. And what's your family going to do when the next crisis hits? With recent outbreaks of respiratory illness in China and white lung syndrome in the U.S., you need to be prepared. The wellness company's medical emergency kit. It's 8 life-saving medications, including amoxicillin, Z-Pak, and ivermectin, along with a guidebook for safe use. The wellness company's chief medical board, well, that's Dr. Drew Pinsky. That's right. That's his last name. And Dr. Peter McCullough, who was right about all things COVID, and other truth-telling doctors, so you know it's legit. Their whole plan is rooted in empowering you to take control of your health. The wellness company's medical emergency kit, from tick bites to COVID to bioterror events, every scenario is covered. So take care of yourself with the wellness company. Right, Dawson?
Go to twchealth/ACS and grab your medical emergency kit right now. That's twc.health/ACS. Code ACS saves you 10% at checkout. Don't wait until you need it. Take control of your health today. The Wellness Company's medical emergency kit. It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
This message isn't for Adam. It's for Danny Two Sheets. You know, I buy myself a new set of sheets like every 2 months, and that top sheet gets used as a tablecloth. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Orny Adams is in studio, everybody. Orny's got a podcast. Orny's got dates. OrnyAdams.com is where you go for all the pertinent info. All right, so we got some Emmys clips.
What'd you think of the show overall?
I thought it was good. I thought it was smart. You know, I timed the monologue, if you would call the monologues, more kind of a sing-along thing. It was about 7 minutes, which is probably where it should be. You know, Anthony is not a stand-up comedian, but he brings other energy to it. Right. So he sort of brought that energy to it. And it was like fun, fast-paced, you know. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, he didn't make fun of anybody.
Right.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we brought you in today. We went fresh set eyeballs.
So yeah, what I got from them is so Anthony Anderson, I thought he did a great job. He stuck to his brand, which is just lifting everybody up and doesn't necessarily need to make fun of anybody. We found out that everybody loves The Bear.
Yeah, my God.
Succession and Beef.
Yeah. Beef was an affirmative action thing. We got to get some Asians in this room.
I haven't seen it, but I hear people like it.
I watched it, and when you're done watching it, you sort of kind of turn to the person next to you and go, "That's okay, right?" I was like, "Yeah, it was okay. Like it's not bad. It's not that good." And both performers are fine, but it's not really bring home the Emmy unless you're going for the diversity thing. And the way the diversity thing works is you go, all right, this is just a bunch of white dudes giving each other awards, so we got to get some black faces in here. And then you do that, and then eventually you do get some black faces in there, and then you go, now we need some queer faces in here. And so you get some LGBT faces in there, and then you go, all right, now we got black and we got gay. Who's next? Because we don't have anything past that, and you gotta go Asian, and then next will be Hispanic. I think on the pecking order, and then it's and then we're also going into disabilities. That's always a good one too. So, no, that was definitely not Emmy worthy, but it was fine.
Right. I mean, I agree. Like I haven't watched Beef, and I have no desire to watch it. But nobody's really recommended it to me. As like
you would never recommend it,
right?
You would just go, it's fine.
So it's surprising to see it win so much.
It's not even really about that much. I've watched a lot of the offerings on Netflix and stuff, and this wouldn't crack anyone's top anything.
Have you seen The Menu?
Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen it.
Interesting, right?
Yeah,
I mean the one with the killer one with the island.
On an island.
Yeah. That whole thing was much more interesting than Beef.
Okay.
Much more.
Right. I think just Beef also had a weaker category because I realized I didn't see much else in that category.
Who was in that one? Jimmy Kimmel?
Beef went up against the Jeffrey Dahmer story, which...
Now, I didn't watch that, so I can't say, but I heard a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah, there was a lot of hubbub about it.
I'm sick of Dahmer.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Daisy Jones and the Six, which I actually did watch and I really liked.
That was about the...
It's like Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah,
basically.
I couldn't get into that.
Yeah, see, not a lot of people really got into
Didn't
it. I
watch
personally
it.
liked it. Fleischman is in trouble.
Nobody saw that.
Yeah, and
never heard of
Obi-Wan
that.
Kenobi. So it's just a weak category.
Maybe it's a weak category. Yeah. All right.
Got to defend Beef.
It was listen. It wasn't bad. It just didn't. You're not the kind of thing you'd watch and go, oh, everyone's winning an Emmy. Like you
Right.
wouldn't go, she's winning an Emmy, he's winning an Emmy, the series winning an Emmy. You just go
It did get to a point where if when they announced the nominees and you see somebody from The Bear was nominated or somebody from Success was nominated, you're already thinking, okay, that person's going to win. And that Beef became that. Like whenever I saw Beef as one of the nominees, when they would roll the clip, I would think, okay, Beef's going to win. Yeah. It just
weak
felt that
category.
way. Yeah, weak category. Anthony Anderson's mom, though, very involved.
Yeah,
In
still alive.
the ceremony, still alive. And you mentioned he loves his mom. He does a lot of stuff with his mom. And so what they did this year was instead of the playoff music, they had his mom interrupt the speech, going, "Hey, time's up. Got to get off the stage."
Yeah, funny.
I didn't think it would work. It kind of worked.
Yeah, kind of worked.
Do you want to see? See
we'll see it.
this is
Yeah, I'd like
Jennifer
to see how
Coolidge
the acting
at
is.
the end of her speech.
Okay, so I just want to say, I want to thank all the evil gays. You know, I just really...
Reference to White Lotus.
I
Just holding up a time's up sign,
especially, yes,
which is mic'd up.
Paulo, Francesco, and Bruno, thank you. I know I'm getting wrapped it up. Okay, yes, okay.
Baby.
Yes, and I just...
I love you, baby, but time.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's funny.
yeah, it's soft. It's
Yeah,
not,
it worked.
Yeah.
I thought
There's a
that
wrap it up sign behind them. Is that the official wrap it up sign?
Right, yeah, I think that's a countdown clock, and then eventually flashes because they were all the.
That guy's just a fabulous Thunderbirds fan.
I don't know why
That's
the
not
U
a
has to
cue.
be cap. I would have gone all caps on that.
Wrap
Not
it
just-
up?
Yeah, not done it like it's a literary statement.
No,
With
big.
no punctuation.
Yeah, you're right.
Just, I don't know what
I saw
font.
it bumped me when I was watching it. I thought of you.
I don't like it, and it's sort of like, what is that, the system font? That's not even like, nobody put any...
That was AI generated.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right, so anyway, Anthony Anderson's mom, big part of the thing, and all the speeches did feel quick and rushed because I think they kind of saw the timer going quick, so it was very. But what they did was during the speeches they would digitally put this person would like to thank and have the long list, so everybody already had their list pre-written. So I thought that was kind of a nice touch. Just
That
to
was
keep
smart.
The show moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
A lot of the old shows, because now it's a 75th Emmy, so a lot of the old shows were honored, like The Sopranos, Martin, the Arsenio Hall show, Grey's Anatomy, which is kind of weird because Katherine Heigl was there, so I guess they're cool with her now. 'Cause
Well,
they killed her off.
Time heals all wounds, as they say.
Was Arsenio there?
Yeah.
Did you text him?
Oh.
No.
Wow.
Could have.
Yeah.
May have. Spend some time with the man.
He's out there doing stand-up, and he's funny. Very likable, very funny.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching him.
Yeah, I did Celebrity Apprentice or something with him.
Nice guy.
Sometimes, yes.
Oh.
Oftentimes.
Is there something I should know about my friend?
See, I
No,
had
but
to work with
you
him.
can do a competition show at some point. They'll say something about you. You
Yeah.
know, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
But no, I got along good with Arsenio. Arsenio's been in here before. He's a good guest.
He's great. I mean, it's like any documentary you watch now about the 80s or 90s will have a clip from Arsenio's show.
Definitely.
It's amazing.
He's ubiquitous.
He's everything but preening.
Yeah. He's not smug.
He's the opposite.
Man.
He doesn't swan. He doesn't,
He's no peacock.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things I got a kick out of on the on the Emmys, which is when they would go to the directors category or the writers category, but usually like the directors are set, I don't know, directors. They would always cut to a picture of them on the set of the White Lotus. Like it would always be the director and he'd be holding a script in front of the actors. Like it wasn't posed.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. Like you're standing around behind Video Village and the director's pointing at something or doing something. All these things, these shows were shot 2 years ago or whatever. So every one of these pussy directors had a mask around their chin. Though they all had it around their chin. Nobody had their mouth or nose covered. There was a mandate that said, hey, fucking lemming, put a mask on. And they all went, oh, yeah, like they were into it. But every single one of them was at work and they were talking to people and they're pointing shit out. And so every one of these fucking directors has a stupid mask pulled down under their chin. Because that's when it's filmed.
This must have been very triggering.
Very triggering.
Very
me.
upsetting.
I was like, oh, thank God you had the mask mandate in place, you fucking lemmings.
But also the mask down is also symbolic. Like, I'm really getting in your ear here.
Yeah,
we're showing
this
an
is
intimate
personal.
connection.
Yeah, I'm willing to risk disease for you, my acting friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it also showed that those same people who would have yelled at you to put a mask on if you were walking down the horse trail in La Cañada didn't give a fuck about the mask enough to keep it up. Also, one of the writers, I think on Trevor Noah's show,
the big green mask?
had the big mask on.
That, yeah,
that's awesome. Science. Okay.
It's depressing when you see pictures of people in masks, or you see like shows shot a couple of years ago and people are wearing masks. It's a bummer.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a real bummer. And I could see why it would upset you.
I was upset.
I'm surprised you made it in today. And I think that's probably why you're unleashing on Ben. You're pent up. I saw somebody
Byron,
in a mask around their chin.
Yeah.
That's the conservative way of wearing a mask.
Around the...
Yeah. Or off the nose, as
Well, I take umbrage because no one's conservative in this group. They all buy into it, but not enough to actually use the mask correctly.
What do you
fucking retards?
Right. So
anyway.
Speaking of Trevor Noah, so there's this viral clip that went around where while he was doing his acceptance speech, which he beat out Jimmy Kimmel for Outstanding Talk Series, first he thanked everybody for that. John Oliver was not in that category.
Right.
And then, but in the background, you see Roy Wood Jr., who's one of the correspondents, mouthing, please hire a host.
Oh, right. They need a host. Yeah.
So you could see him just looking.
I don't find Trevor Noah particularly funny. I find him sort of sanctimonious, but not really that funny.
Hire a host, please.
Is he trying to get a job?
I think so.
Well, yeah, I think so. So yeah, lip readers were able to figure that one out.
Yeah.
Let's see. So also speaking of Fast and Furious, the in memoriam was Charlie Puth doing that rendition.
Yeah. Who was the rapper who sung?
Wiz Khalifa is the guy.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, the tables have turned, Orny.
They sure have.
Because back in my day, it would be Elvis ripping off the black man.
Yeah.
You
What's
know
going
what I mean?
on now?
Well, now you'd see like Wiz Khalifa, and he'd be on like Saturday Night Live, and they got Whitey behind the Ivories over there. He's sitting at the piano, and he's doing all the heavy lifting. And I'll tell you, he's playing the piano stuff.
See You Again's a song.
And then Wiz Khalifa just comes out and goes, yeah. And he's like, it's been a long... yeah. I'm like, wow, now who's doing the work?
Yeah.
Here, turnabout's fair play.
Yeah.
I can't be critical because,
You've ripped off the black man.
my whole career.
I mean, half his act is Richard Pryor shit.
I mean, it's like word for word,
Talking about growing up in a whorehouse in Kansas City.
Exactly. No, he was from Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, that's right.
Peoria, Illinois.
That's right from your act.
Yeah, I say the same thing.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
And Richard doing all that shit on bottled water.
Bottled
and
water.
Home Depot. And
Home Depot. The other day, I'm about to go on at the Improv. I'm closing, which is what I usually do when I'm there on Saturday nights. And somebody came up to me and said, 3 people have mentioned Home Depot already. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to
can't
switch
do
it
the
up.
Home Depot.
I could switch it to
What,
Lowe's.
were they Pryor's fans or old school guys?
I don't know. It's like now you got to, the thing is that.
You go Builder's Emporium.
Yeah, I need something. The reason when I talk about Home Depot, it works is because why am I there? Like I'm way out of place.
You at Home Depot.
The fact that people are asking me for advice is absurd. It doesn't work anywhere else. Like I can't say, what's that? The place you go to with your wife for Ann's Fabrics. What is that place?
Joann's.
Joann's Fabrics. I can't say that.
No.
So now I'm stuck. Here's my opening bit, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
And,
the problem, I think we're too sensitive.
I do too.
So maybe there's this. Like, tell me what you would do.
Okay.
So I was doing shows in Arizona a week and a half ago, right? So Dickie, lead singer from the Bosstones.
Oh.
He says, I'm going to come out and hang out. And I go, good, because Dickie's a great hang and a great dude. So Dickie comes out and he watches the first show. And it's a great show. It's sold out. Everything's great. And then Dickie comes backstage and he hangs out with us. He has some food, hangs out. And then at some point I go, well, how long is the drive back, to your town in Arizona? That's an hour, whatever. And he goes, I'm going to hang out for the second show.
Oh, no, it didn't go so well, did it?
And I thought the second show sold out. Not only is it sold out, they're adding chairs.
Come on, really?
Sold the fuck out. And I'm thinking, but Dickie watched the first show, and I can't go out there and do the exact same thing I just did.
Now Dickie's in your head.
Dickie's sitting out there. There's one guy.
Yeah, one guy ruined it.
Yep.
One guy was enough to get about 50% material change on like an hour and 10 minutes.
Wow.
One guy up there on stage going, he did that bit. Weaker material.
Yeah.
Just going, I'm changing it up for
How
Dickie.
often are you on stage thinking about Dick?
Lots.
Yeah. And it derails you a little bit,
it's
right?
It's not contained to the stage.
Yeah, before,
We're talking about sleeping, eating, hugging my children.
But it changes everything in your life. Like, you're up there thinking, I want to do this, but I can't stop thinking about Dick in the audience.
That's exactly what was running through my mind.
Yeah.
So it's like you were there.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
All right, so back to whatever the fuck we were talking about.
The Emmys.
The Emmys. Right.
Right. Calista Flockhart looked very good. I thought,
she did.
Yeah, the Ally McBeal reunion. So some big winners here. RuPaul's Drag Race. You mentioned RuPaul.
Thank God. 63 nominations for that show.
What show is this?
Drag
RuPaul's
Race.
Drag Race.
Oh, wow.
5th. Yeah. Well,
That's great.
63 nominations
But
for
wait a
the
minute,
show
there are
no one gives a
60
fuck about.
There are that many categories?
Been nominated 63 times.
Don't tell me Jimmy Kimmel lost to him, too.
Jimmy Kimmel never win an Academy Award, and RuPaul will have 63 nominations.
But this was the Emmys.
This is the Emmys.
Yeah, you said Academy Awards.
Oh, I'm sorry. He'll host Academy Awards. He'll have no Emmys. She'll have... They will have...
Do you think
63.
what happened with the Golden Globes is now going to discourage comedians, people like Jimmy Kimmel, from hosting award shows?
No.
I don't think so either.
No. but it was worth asking.
Yeah.
Do we have the speech?
Yeah, we have the announcer crediting RuPaul with how many Emmys. He
All right, listen. This is everything that's wrong. This. Oh, there's Joel McHale.
Yeah.
This doesn't
category.
exist in the NFL. We're us pretending that this person deserves all the accolades they get. This is us patting ourselves on the back because we're somehow in the pecking order. Remember, it was a bunch of white guys giving out gifts to each other, and statues, and we got to get some black people in here. Yeah. Now we got trans. That's the hierarchy. In the intersectional
it isn't that
hierarchy.
Maybe these people have come further in their acting pursuits now that
well, it's whatever it is, it's nobody in this audience thinks that this show is the best show enough that they win every single year.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it, Orny?
No, I haven't.
No, I've never seen it either.
Yeah.
But you got to feel bad for the people who produced The Great Race and Survivor and these shows where like, today we're in Budapest, Hungary, and we put a zip line over the town. It's like, you get nothing. We got these trannies over here. They must be recognized.
I think you need to retract
say
that right
tranny.
now. No, I don't think you can.
You say tranny fluid.
Well, in regards to what?
Yeah, what is that?
But connects the engine to the rear end of the car.
Cars.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting it in.
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't want you to get canceled. I
protecting
care about you so much. I just don't want to read another article where they're coming at you.
Transvestite.
Tom Shales died. Don't
Tom's
worry.
gone. All right, here it is.
And by the way, hold on. I have an announcement. Because I was reading an article the other day about stray cats. Do you know that in California we're supposed to call them unowned cats?
Oh, that's what we do. Yeah.
They're not stray cats anymore.
No, listen.
Or feral.
Homeless people are previously housed.
Yes, but somebody came out recently and said, and he was an actor, said, I don't own a house right now, but it doesn't mean I'm unhoused or whatever. Listen, I know this is for you. You feel like we should be saying this, unhoused and stuff like that. And I'm just saying that I don't think it helps anything. I don't think it cures anything. I'm
saying you can call herpes happies, but it doesn't mean I don't have a lesion on my cock.
Have you ever had a herpes meal? Is that the man show? That would be gold if I said, you go on a date and you're like, hey, how about a herpes meal? Tom Shales would have come for me.
He would have loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, you. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
And the Emmy goes to RuPaul's Drag Race.
So now he must get a standing ovation, number one, even though nobody there has seen the fucking show.
He's dressed like a wreath.
RuPaul's Drag Race has earned a total of 63 Emmy nominations. This is the show's fifth win in this category. Accepting the Emmy on behalf of the team is RuPaul. This year marks the 8th consecutive.
Now, hold on. What I like is like, hey, bitches, everyone stand up and pretend to be super excited because it may affect your career in this godforsaken town we live in.
Can you imagine if it cuts to a wide shot and it's you just sitting there, the only one sitting while everyone's standing?
Oh, listen. When Saddam Hussein would give speeches, they would stand up and cheer, and everyone was scared to stop and sit down because you couldn't be the first person who sat down because Saddam Hussein would put a fucking bullet in your head. That's what these fucking coward pussies do here.
I couldn't be there either because my face, they'd cut to me and my face would be like, what's going on? Like, I couldn't be part of this group. I don't know. I commend the people that know how to react right away.
Oh, yeah.
Like somehow, like they know when to be upset at a joke.
They're like, it's like when Britney Spears backs out of a nightclub at night and you pretend she ran over your ankle, so you flop onto the ground and then you lawyer up. That's what these people are doing. It's called acting.
But they know how to do it. Would you know how? Someone would have to hit me, or they'd have to say, stand up now, or I just.
What percentage of these people have seen this lowly rated piece of shit show?
What is it?
That's my whole point. I don't even know. That's Bravo. I don't know.
I wonder in this building. I've never seen RuPaul's Drag Race.
It's on the Ring Doorbell Network. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it, but I did attend a viewing party one time for it.
Okay, but you didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
You had that sense.
You?
No, I don't.
Byron?
Yeah, I'm half gay, so that's my
Is it
excuse.
good?
It's fun. There's a lot of drama in it where like there's some gotcha moments. It's like, whoa, if you're drunk enough, you'll get into it.
But is it 63 Emmy nominations good?
Like I saw 2 seasons for my girlfriend. I saw 1 for me, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Did I call him Ben 50 times earlier by
That's
accident?
all right.
Okay.
It's all right. You're
sorry
buff.
about that. Did I? Okay.
I thought you were being funny.
Okay. Yeah, I am being funny. I guess.
Oh, that's a change of pace.
Wow. Already? Wow.
Already? I've been sitting on that shit for 89 minutes.
Wow. When aging podcasters attack.
All right, let's listen to the speech.
This is the show's 5th win in this category. Accepting the Emmy on behalf of the team is RuPaul. This year marks the 8th consecutive win for RuPaul the show.
Ted Lasso.
RuPaul continues to reign as the most awarded host in Emmys history.
Ken Young gets shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Person of color.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, you lovely, lovely people. We are so honored.
Hold on. Does it feel? Stop it.
There's one of the Queer Eye guys.
You know those? You know they don't really do them anymore. But once in a while, they get the 8-year-old with leukemia, but he's a huge Nebraska Cornhuskers fan, and they put him in the uniform and they hand him the ball, and he goes running down the middle of the field, and then all the defensive players pretend to tackle him but flop on their face, and then he goes in the end zone, holds the ball up. Yeah. Is that how he feels?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Yeah,
but everyone's standing up screaming and saying for the show they don't watch or give a shit about.
But look how many people are involved with the show.
Yeah, I know.
Like a lot of people, and they look like smart people.
Let's hear the speech.
Thank you so much, you lovely, lovely people. We are so honored to have this award. Listen, you guys are just pure lovely for honoring our show and recognizing all of these queens. We have released into the wild hundreds of drag queens. Awesome. And they're beautiful. On behalf of all of them, we thank you. And listen, if a drag queen wants to read you a story at a library, listen to her because knowledge
she was molested.
is power. And if someone tries to restrict your access to power, they are trying to scare you. So listen to a drag queen. We love you. Thank you.
All right. What the fuck is he talking about?
Don't you sell that shirt? Listen to a drag queen? I feel like that's part of your merch.
So the next time I'm at the library, if a drag queen wants to read me Cat in the Hat, I should listen because it's power? Wait, it's my power? Whose power is it again? Is it the drag queen's power or is the knowledge's power?
Look at that tattoo.
I think both.
On the right.
And are they reading Catcher in the Rye or what are they reading kids' books at the library?
Irrelevant.
Okay, but next time a drag queen wants to read me some text,
you better listen.
I got to listen up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can get the power. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. That's my whole point. And neither does the audience. And they don't care. We've checked the box. We're progressive.
Did you text RuPaul?
No, I called him.
You called him?
Yeah.
I'm being serious. Is it he called him or her?
I don't know. But I told him I was at the North Hollywood Library and there was 4 homeless people taking a shit and there was no he-she's here. So let's get moving. You know what I'm saying?
When's the last time anybody read a book to you?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, you would say no to nobody. You're open to anybody.
I'm an open
reading
book to
who's
reading.
ever the most qualified to read you the book.
Yeah, I would like someone who had a sort of classically trained background, you know.
Yeah.
Like Burl Ives, you know, somebody had a real voice, you know what I mean? Or what's his name? The voice of CNN. Oh, shit. Edward, shit. Who's the voice of CNN? You guys don't know the...
James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones, yeah. That's the guy who goes, this is CNN.
Made a lot of money doing that.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
I would accept reading text from him. All right, do we have one more or are we good?
I mean, yeah, we on this topic, the governor's award went to GLAAD.
Oh.
Yeah, so the president and CEO, Sarah Kate Ellis, accepted the award.
Yeah. 3 names. That's always strike
Chelsea
1, 2, and
Handler.
3 for me.
Three names used to in the 90s at least used to mean you were a hot actress. You had Sarah Michelle
now
Gellar,
means you're
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Now you're pain in the ass activist.
Or serial killer.
Yeah, on the dude side.
Oh, the dude side, yeah.
Yep.
All right, here it is.
This work is personal. For me, it's about my wife and our kids. Because what the world sees on TV influences how we treat each other and the decisions that we make in our living rooms, schools, at work, and at the ballot box. The world urgently needs culture-changing stories about transgender people.
That's right. Yeah, we're not going to get by without that. We don't have stories about trans people.
Have you looked at all the different movies on the plane?
Listen, I've polled Americans. It pretty much goes, in terms of most Americans, they want culture-changing stories about trans people. Right after that, it's the price of meat and eggs. And then under that is the border. And then under that is the price of diesel fuel. And then under that, it's what's the Middle East in general, what's going on with all the skirmishes in the Middle East. But the stories about the trans community is sort of a code red. So we need that now.
You're saying
Ukraine can wait. Today.
That what will decide the 2024 presidential election
will be stories about the trans community.
Don't you think it's weird that all of our presidential elections are decided in a high school gym?
Yeah, you're right. Should be at least a college gym.
It's strange.
Yeah. The high school gym, and you, Orny. The high school gym is now like duct tape. It's actually used for more and different things than repairing duct work. The gym is now housing illegals. It's now where
it is?
Oh, yeah. They closed down. Everyone was pissed off because they shipped a bunch of migrants to like New York, and then the snowstorm came in. So they moved them out of the park and they moved them into the high school gym, and then they've canceled high school.
Well,
and so Whitey's kind of miffed.
Well, I have to be honest with you, and I haven't been honest with you or the audience for several months now, but I identify as undocumented.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I now get free health insurance here in California.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I used to pay $1,000 a month.
Oh,
now I got documents saying I'm undocumented.
So you had it certified?
Yeah, I'm no longer Orny Adams in the state of California.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is politically correct.
No, but you can get free health care.
That's what I do. Yeah. I show up. Where's your ID? I left it in, I don't want to say what country in South
Ecuador.
America.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm leaving money on the table.
And that's it.
I'm going to start floating. Listen, I was early money on this because if you look at my driver's license under gender, there's an X there.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
because if I do go to prison one day, I want to be able to pull something out and go, I don't want to go to the male prison.
Right.
I like to go with the ladies.
Without
which
getting
I'm one of.
too extreme with your views. I'm being serious here. Okay, because it is hard to understand. I do pay over $1,000 a month for my premium, for my insurance, okay? I had SAG-AFTRA. I lost it during the strike.
Right.
Now I'm paying $1,000 a month. And you do read these articles that our state, California, is giving undocumented people free health care.
Yeah.
Would you object less if everybody had free health care and then the undocumented people got it too?
Giving illegal immigrants shit for free is a bad idea because it attracts illegal immigrants in general. But giving everyone shit for free just means the quality goes down a lot. So I would like people to be responsible for their own shit.
But sometimes there are people that can't, for whatever reason, support themselves.
Yeah, you can go to a city, you can go to a county hospital. I used to go to county USC before I had insurance and shit. I mean, Dr. Drew will tell you, you can go somewhere and get shit for free.
No, you can?
Oh, yeah. You just go to county USC. You just got to wait in line. And it sucks. But I used to do it. So it can be done. All right, let's hear a little more about her. Roll it back 15 seconds, because I do want to hear about these stories about the trans community that we need so desperately.
Do you think that you would know when to clap? Like if we started the clip from the beginning, would you know where to clap like the people in the audience?
I would just focus on RuPaul. And whenever Ru clapped, I would clap.
Okay.
All right.
The world urgently needs culture-changing stories about transgender people.
I have no idea what they sound like, these people. The crazy part.
More people say they have seen a ghost than know a transgender person. When you don't know people, it's easy to demonize them. Visibility creates understanding, and it opens doors. It's life-saving. Our community has achieved so much, and yet
Hold on, pause it for a second.
Where's Anthony Anderson's mom? What? I don't understand. She only did it one time.
Mom should have thrown a fucking shoe at this bitch.
Can you imagine?
Number one. Number two, is she trans?
I don't think so.
All right, well then she should move it the fuck along. She keeps going, why has this become a trans thing?
But
why is the gays and the trans lumped in together?
All of this is way above my pay grade.
It's like people of color. Like, oh, Chris, you're a person of color, so you're lumped in with Hondurans and blacks and everybody else.
Yeah.
And Chinese, Japanese. It's a little bit insulting when you just go people of color.
To me, it does.
It's
a
weird.
lot of this
and
stuff
the trans
feels like a contradiction. And I mean, to be clear, they should create programming for everybody. Now, whether people watch it or not, that's a whole other thing. But
yeah, she's a lesbian, but she's not trans. But that's
what I'm saying.
That's the big thing. All right, so she'll keep going.
Victimized and villainized with cruel and harmful lies. Sharing stories is the antidote.
You don't want a 13-year-old to get their
now
cock cut off.
Is the time to take action to support everyone in the LGBTQ community. Because this story is still being told, and we all can be the heroes. Thank you to the Television Academy.
Now stand up and clap, Stooges.
What did she win for? What was
that? Was the governor's award.
What does that mean?
It means
just in general for the great work she's done.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a list of all the past governor's award winners.
They've done amazing.
There are no nominees. It's just the board of governors. They recognize an individual or company.
Right.
I think it's great. Adam.
So in
I think it's great.
Okay, but let me explain something. In 1944, they gave the governor's award to a guy who took out a machine gun nest of Krauts during the Normandy invasion. Now we got some he-she with his junk tucked between his legs, and we're going to give the award to them. That's where we're at as a society. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, the first few were like Johnny Carson and Walter Cronkite.
I think it's beautiful.
Now we just have fucking harpies up there talking about shit that no one gives a fuck about.
Last year,
you're just bitter because our group is left out.
I know. I'm always left behind, marginalized.
We have
silenced.
Yeah.
Orny Adams and Adam Carolla have been marginalized and silenced.
Yeah, we're out. We're on the outsy. I'm thinking of giving you my entire act.
I'll take it.
Take it.
Well, that's just Pryor's act.
I'd just be doing Richard Pryor's act, though.
Just listen to bicentennial N-word, and you'll get Orny's. you'll get Orny's whole act verbatim.
So last year, Gina Davis Institute on Gender in Media won.
Oh, gender.
2020, Tyler Perry and the Perry Foundation won.
Oh.
But then 2018, like Star Trek won. 2016, American Idol won.
Who won in 1947?
I don't have it as early as that. The earliest I have is William S. Paley in 1978.
Is that the Paley Center
I
named
believe
after?
so.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right. We should take a break. We got some news.
That wasn't the news?
That wasn't the news. We got the news right after this. Well, here's something for my listeners. I got a surefire way to wake up feeling fresh after a night of drinking. Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink, the world's first genetically engineered probiotic, invented by PhD scientists for rough mornings after drinking. When you drink alcohol, it turns into a toxic byproduct in your gut, and that's to blame, not dehydration as many think. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. So just remember, make Z-Biotic your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. I love this product. It is Z-Biotics. Right, Dawson?
Go to zbiotics.com/Carolla to get 15% off your first order when you use Carolla at checkout. Z-Biotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/Carolla and use the code Carolla at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, Z-Biotics, for sponsoring this episode and our good times.
O'Reilly. Don't miss Do It Right deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts. How long has it been since you've changed your spark plugs? Yeah, that's a good question. Replacing your spark plug can restore efficiency and performance to your vehicle. Get better gas mileage as well. And right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get a $12 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you purchase 4 or more select AC Delco Iridium spark plugs. Maintain your performance and fuel mileage with new spark plugs from O'Reilly Auto Parts. You can also improve visibility with their new wiper blades. Right now, save $12 on a pair of Rain-X Rugged XL wiper blades. Plus, get 2 times O Rewards points. An extra large profile and premium features make Rugged XL blades the right choice for extreme weather and driving durability. The professional parts people will even install your new pair of wiper blades for free. From spark plugs to wiper blades and more. Save now with Do It Right deals in store at O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, St. Petersburg, Florida. A 20-year-old woman was arrested for domestic battery after accusing her boyfriend of infidelity and hitting him with a Christmas tree. Definitely not a Jew.
All right, Orny Adams hanging in. Chris got the news fired up.
Yeah, so this story is catered specifically for you, Adam, because the U.S. Federal Highway Administration has given all states 2 years to implement a new change. And that is to take away all the humorous and quirky messages on the electronic freeway signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they outlined a new 1,100-page manual released last month. They said that administration officials said overheard electronic signs with obscure meanings, references to pop culture, or those intended to be funny will be banned in 2026 because they can be misunderstood or distracting to drivers.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure could.
Okay. I will stand by this hackneyed whatever let the seatbelt force be with you or whatever fucking hackneyed
Gotta go.
shit that's on there.
Gotta go.
It's gotta go. That's
Or
fine.
you won't have it.
But in its place, you must put something meaningful.
Yeah, buckle up.
No.
Buckle up.
No. That's retarded.
It is?
Yes.
Duct tape yourself to the seat.
No. Click it or ticket. It's the biggest fucking
great.
waste of time ever.
That to me says put your seatbelt on.
Yeah, but your car told you to put the fucking seatbelt on. I know where you live.
Oh, I know where you live too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I have security.
You don't have that much security, believe me.
I know.
You got people
I know where you
having
live.
pizzas delivered to your house. I know where you live
I know
too.
where pizza in a bag.
In
Dawson
bags.
says.
Yeah.
Okay, I know where you live.
Yeah.
You got a long haul from your fucking driveway to the first one of those freeway signs you're going to see, right? Mm-hmm. Your car will be going off like a pinball machine the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
Do you really need a reminder?
Yeah.
Once you get on the freeway to do something your car has been reminding you to do for the last 22 minutes.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
So you forget to put your seatbelt on.
I don't. Sometimes I live up in the hills. Sometimes I forget to even brake. And it's not until I see the sign on the highway.
This
that
is a
says,
serious subject,
break
Orny.
it
This
or,
is a
or snake
fucking.
it.
This is an
break
utter,
it or snake it.
This is
and
a
then
completely utter waste of time and resources. Now, it should say signal. Because people are, I see people fucking drifting into this lane and that lane all the time. Many accidents caused by non-signal. Use your signal is something that you could be reminded to do. Putting your seatbelt on is not anything you need to be reminded to do. There's only 2 categories in this group that passes under these click it or ticket freeway signs. It is the group that has already fastened their seatbelt.
Right.
That's 97% of humanity. And then it's the outlaw, outlier, Ted Nugent, fuck the government, 3% who says the man isn't going to tell me what to do.
Can't you disable that sound? I think you can.
You could. A lot of people just take a male end and click it in. You can buy just a male end just to shove into the hole.
Or you can put it behind you, right? Couldn't you click it behind you?
Yeah, if you're so committed. But I'm saying there is 0% who's reminded to do it. So with that in mind, let's just put inflate your tires or stop blaming your parents or, as I've suggested, floss.
Okay. So
it doesn't have to be car related.
I don't see a lot of these signs. Where are these signs happening?
What do you mean you don't see them?
I don't. I just don't. I don't know why.
You don't drive on the freeway?
Gobble, gobble. What's wrong with gobble, gobble? Go easy on the throttle. That's great. You know what that should say too? That should say, Adam Carolla, you're 8 months away from resurrecting your Halloween bit.
That's right. It's my famous Halloween.
There should be a counter on the corner of every podcast
that
with
doesn't
the
appeal to the
countdown
masses, though.
until you get to do your Halloween bit. There are minivans of people coming into the neighborhood.
I love that this is where Orny's decided to take a stand. Because 2 days before Halloween, I dared to do a Halloween-themed bit
You
on
were doing
a stage.
it after Halloween, too.
A day
I got
after
the report.
Halloween.
Yeah, it's the annual Halloween bit.
Oh, man.
I have a countdown on my phone for when you get to do it. Let's try and add a tag this year, too. I think
Another tag? There's so many tags.
But you keep tagging it every year. So the people that come back every year
jealous
to see
that I had a
Carolla
bit and he's just doing old Pryor material. Grew up in a whorehouse, yo.
Yeah, I think the people that get to see you at the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah, they're going to want a Halloween bit.
That's what's going on at the Stanley Hotel.
Let me just get back to the signs.
Yeah.
The signs should have signal. That's all. We could cut down 30% of the accidents out there if people just fucking signaled.
How about this?
Nobody signals, no asshole signal in the city, and it's right there. You could pass by every 3 miles. You'd go, oh, fuck, I got signal. Signaling would go up 82%.
Well, why don't the cars signal automatically when you start turning?
It doesn't know.
Not even just signal, but signal or fine for not signaling is $100.
Fine for not signaling.
How about
$100.
this one? Put your phone down and read this sign.
Yeah. Oh, you know what they should really just do at this point? Just fucking sell it to the Pepsi Corporation. Let's get some money coming in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, look, we got a homeless situation. School kids don't have enough supplies. Poor people can't eat. Sell that network of freeway signs to Nabisco or Pepsi or something like that, or Pete Ellis Dodge, and let's get some real income pouring in.
Okay.
Because they'd pay a fucking arm and a leg. If you had a car dealership or you had an energy drink, Red Bull, whatever, to put that kind of real estate with millions of eyeballs every single day.
How about the people that donate or sponsor parts of the highway and clean it up? Those people
Bette
should
Midler. Put her up there.
The Rotary Club, whatever that is.
I'm just saying, if there's a movie coming out, if a Spider-Man movie's coming out this Friday, and you buy up all those Paramount or Sony or whoever, Disney or whatever, buys up all those signs for that week, it'd be millions of dollars in our coffers.
That's true.
All right.
Yeah.
It's true.
So the agency, which is part of the U.S. Department of Transportation.
I'm sorry, Chris. I think I'd rather pay higher taxes and see the click it or ticket.
You like the funny messages?
Yeah, I'd rather pay higher
you like
taxes.
the meaningless messages?
I like higher taxes.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, I don't know why you're trying to cut down on our taxes.
The Department of Transportation, which is Pete Buttigieg's department.
Pete Buttigieg is a dude who married another dude who adopted a kid who took 6 months off paternity leave 10 minutes into his job. Does anyone bothered by that? Does anyone say that's the most fucked up thing ever? You're the head of transportation. You married a dude. It's not like your fucking boyfriend got pregnant or anything. You just adopted a kid and you took 6 months.
Do you wish your dad took off 6 months of maternity?
Oh my God! I wish he did something to take off.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You wish Pete Buttigieg was your dad.
I wish Pete Buttigieg.
Well, you might wish he was your dad after this because he said. So
you can laugh at me, but not one single person in this studio could spell his last name.
No, that's
Let's all try it right now.
So they said signs should be, quote, simple, direct, brief, legible, and clear, and only be used for important information such as warning drivers of crashes ahead, adverse weather conditions, and traffic delays.
Well, they can't even do that correctly because one of the most distracting signs I've seen up there said, do not drive distracted, except half of the lights were out. So as you're driving by it, you're trying to read what does this sign say? And by the time you figure out that it says don't drive distracted, you've slammed into a person in front of you.
There's a lot going on. Like now when the police pull you over, they can't say, do you know why I pulled you over?
Yeah, I know. That's Newsom. Hard at work. Important work. Like the third non-binary toy aisle.
I'm
Like,
just
these
trying
are
to have a
important
discussion
things.
without Newsom coming up or this
I
or
know.
that.
These are all super important subjects.
Yeah,
they're
I
getting to.
mean, I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
they
link
can't
straight.
ask you what. Yeah, but you're not allowed to say, what's up? No one's robbing any banks today? You're not allowed to say that either.
When? When would I say that?
That's a new law. Just got passed.
You always
Can't say
that.
that.
Yeah.
I do. I do. Richard Pryor and I have been doing a bit on the bank robberies. Why did you pick? Why would I steal from Richard Pryor? Why did you pick that comedian?
He's funny.
Oh, he's great.
I like you.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's a pioneer.
Yeah. All right. Well, then John Panette. Panette. Yeah. I like him because there's I guess baguette. Yeah. It should be Panette. You're right.
I
grew up in France.
I was at the Montreal Comedy Festival years ago, and I was doing the John Panette Gala. And they decided, wouldn't it be funny if in between each comedian, he came out and he spun a wheel and it stopped on one of his classic bits. And he would do it. So his most classic bit is
the Chinese
buffet.
Yeah.
So he comes out.
He's a big fact. He was a big fact.
Yeah, he's no longer with us. He comes out after the first comedian and spins the wheel, and it lands on Chinese buffet. Okay, the crowd goes nuts.
Right.
The fanfare, and he does the Chinese buffet bit, which he would be canceled for nowadays.
Yeah, because you got to do the Chinese voice.
You got to do the Chinese voice and whatever. So after the next comedian comes out, spins it again, it lands on Chinese buffet.
Wow.
Nobody checked or balanced the wheel.
No.
And it landed every single time on Chinese buffet.
Yeah, that was cooked. There's a magnet in there.
So he had to start doing things like, you know who has a lot of Chinese buffets is Minnesota. And then he would go into a joke about Minnesota.
Right.
Yeah. But I just thought it was so funny that nobody checked the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, those wheels are not nicely balanced.
Yeah.
Oftentimes. We used to spin the wheel of destiny on the Man Show. And I used to spin the wheel of ethnic, cultural. Oh God, what was my wheel I used to spin? The wheel of cultural diversity or something?
I only remember Wheel of Destiny.
No, Byron can find it somewhere. I did it on my short-lived late-night talk show show on Comedy Central, which is like, the bit was basically like all cultures are equal and all these stereotypes are just harmful. And to prove it, I'll just write a bunch of stereotypes and then I'll pull like a culture out and you'll see. And it's like, so the wheel would have like, works in the banking industry, owns Hollywood, jumps real high, plays in the NBA. You know what I mean? All the culture. And then I'd just pull out like Hispanic. And then I'd spin the wheel and it would land on owns all the banks, owns Hollywood. And I'd go, see?
Yeah.
See, see how this works? There's nothing to any of these. But all it did was point out how correct every single one of them was, because all you'd have to do is swap another culture. Great vertical leap dominates the NBA. See the Jews?
Yeah,
see?
in your book, you do have the chart of ethnic stereotypes. So maybe it was a wheel. Maybe it was derived from that.
It was the wheel of ethnic stereotypes. Yeah, what is that? What was the chart of ethnic stereotypes?
So, yeah, in 50 years we'll all be chicks, you said, as I stated earlier, whether you're a car company or a race, you earn your reputation. Don't believe me? Take a look at this chart of ethnic stereotypes. And then you put the stereotype and then the ethnicity next to it. And as you said, if you believe there's no truth to stereotypes, then nothing in this chart seemed odd, but admit it, you fucking hypocrite, you laughed. And so, stereotype.
Uh-oh, he's looking at me.
I didn't mean to look at you. Stereotype, big noses, run Hollywood and the banks. And then you put Mexicans.
Right.
Or large penises, great athletes, Asians.
Right.
Excel at math, Native Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, no sense of humor, loves Hasselhoff, black.
Okay. So now you know the stereotypes are true. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Yeah. We'll find a wheel for another show, but it's on the internet somewhere. Probably.
Well, anyway, so these freeway signs, seatbelt reminders are still allowed. Yeah, so there you go. And Arizona's really bummed because they took a lot of pride in their funny freeway signs. They used to hold contests for it. They did a survey after this news came out, and a lot of people are upset about it. And I'm on their side only because I was just in Arizona, so are you. Their freeways are awesome.
Yeah, I know.
So let them have their funny signs. They're doing something right.
Yeah, let the states that know how to run their states have their funny signs, even if they don't do anything.
Yeah. Do you want to hear some of the funny signs?
No.
Do you care? Okay. Next story. So in Miami-Dade County, over 150 ATV dirt bike riders.
Oh, it's on.
Were arrested.
What?
During an MLK Day crackdown.
Oh, good for them. That means there's some law and order.
So the arrest came during the gathering known as Wheels Up, Guns Down, which began years ago during MLK weekend.
That was also the theme of my bar mitzvah.
A lot of those Jews on quads doing donuts out in the parking lot at Beth Israel.
Just saying. All right. So before the weekend, the Miami-Dade Police Department announced a zero tolerance for anyone breaking traffic laws and being reckless. And by 9 p.m. on Monday, the police reported there had been 169 arrests. They said that the drivers rode in large packs, they obstruct traffic and behave in disruptive ways. They have dirt bikes, all-terrain drivers.
Yeah, Florida fucking rule law. Good for them.
Yeah, so it can be done. We always talk about how
it's never going to happen in California or L.A. or San Francisco or Chicago or anything, but
we're talking about that 90210 actor that got into a fight?
The Ian.
Ian. That's like a real biker gang? Is that true?
Mini biker gang.
Does he have to worry about them coming after him now? Or
yeah, he made the list.
Yeah.
Revenge is their middle name. Looked like he started it from the second camera angle.
Yeah, I only saw the first, but if your daughter's in the car...
I got a daughter.
Yeah, well, you're different.
She's in the car. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you're still going to get out and get your ass kicked.
I'm smoking. I'm lighting an M80 from my cigarette. Yeah. You know, I got a...
You punch a guy with a helmet? I know not to punch a guy with a helmet.
I got a tall boy in between my legs, you know.
Yeah. Let's look at this.
That's old news.
Yeah.
It is?
Well, it's 3 weeks old.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so...
These are mini bike gangs. Yeah.
They can be stopped even without paintball guns.
Yeah.
Do like his puffy jacket.
Yeah, good cops. And then guess what the message will be next year when the hooligans want to go out in their ATVs? You're going to get arrested. Good. Now they could confiscate their mini bikes and ATVs and quad runners and everything, but they're all stolen, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, they seized 26 firearms.
Oh, yeah.
693 citations, impounded 83 vehicles, and recovered 20 stolen vehicles.
Yeah.
So
they didn't buy them.
No. So anyway, a lot of arrests for that one day. So there are a couple of fights that went viral online.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so this one is in an Atlanta airport. It was a disgruntled employee fighting with her manager.
You know, it's interesting, Orny, if you think about it, because when they were doing the award shows and it was MLK Day, I grew up, it was Reverend King. It's now Dr. King.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting the religion part backed out.
Oh, why is that?
Oh.
Not fans of religion, that group.
Doesn't hit as hard.
They're trying to take the religion out. He would have been called Reverend, and he probably would have wanted to be called Reverend, but he gets called Doctor.
Can you double up?
Every single time.
Yes, you can say he's the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, but they don't do it. They just go Dr. King. It's a quiet, subtle way to get the religion
But do you
out
think
of
the
it.
Reverend actually brings him down? Is that why? 'Cause that
No,
would
they
be
don't
both.
like religion.
Who?
The guys that are flapping their fucking mitts together for Drag Race,
Yeah.
and RuPaul.
The Bible doesn't like
that ain't a
that
religious.
stuff.
You're not
that's
religious.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
also not a fucking retard. That's what
Well,
these guys are.
I don't know about that.
They don't like religion, and so he went from Reverend King to Dr. King. They like doctor. They love Dr. Jill Biden. You know, they like the doctor.
She a reverend too?
She's nothing.
Oh.
But the point is they love.
She's your vice president.
Here's what they love.
president's
They
wife.
love college. They hate church, right? One is college, one is church. So if it's a group that hates church and loves college, and you have a choice between reverend and doctor, even though he was always reverend, they're going to strip away the reverend and add the doctor.
I got to be honest with you. My entire life, I've heard him referred to as Dr. Martin Luther King.
That's why we bring you in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's
that's
refreshing,
bullshit.
Adam.
He's called reverend. He's called
Listen,
reverend.
if you want me to show up and agree with everything you say, like
You're
the other
not your
guests
entire
that you
life. He
love.
was called Reverend King for the first.
No.
He got called Doctor. They switched it out about
When?
14 years ago. He was always Reverend. Reverend because that meant something, and he wasn't a physician. They didn't even call people doctor. They would have called. Jill Biden wouldn't be called a doctor because she has a doctorate in like special education or something. That's like. They wouldn't even do that. A doctor was a physician. A doctor had a stethoscope. But I'm glad your entire life that he was known as Dr. King.
I believe he was.
Even though he was not known as
Dr.
Dr.
Martin Luther King Day.
No, that's recent. It was Reverend. That's what he was called.
What did you?
We're looking right here at an old YouTube clip, and the title of which is the last Sunday sermon of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
But
Jr.
maybe posthumously,
We're looking for
posthumously, he was doctored.
No. They don't like church.
No.
They like school.
Right.
That's why they call
And
it
Okay.
doctor.
his doctorate is a theological doctorate. He's it's a religious
Okay, how about this?
Correct.
How about this? When was the
Here's
first
another argument.
Martin Luther King Day, and was it referred to as Dr. Martin Luther King Day?
No, just MLK Day.
You haven't looked at anything. You're as useless as Byron. You just answered me.
All right, trust
Without-
me that he was Reverend King. He was called Reverend King.
Yes.
That's what they call him. They call him Dr. King. They call him Reverend King because he was a reverend, and that's what he did. He preached.
I call him.
He
what his
wasn't a
doctorate is
physician.
in.
He didn't do any doctor
I
stuff.
call
Is in
him-
being a reverend.
I call him Reverend Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King.
Yeah. He
Junior.
has King in the name. Just call him
What
King.
did he go
Isn't he a junior too?
Well,
I mean,
when
there's
they
a
brought-
lot.
Yeah,
going
he's a
on.
junior, yeah.
when they brought him up to give the famous speech in front of the reflection pond at the Capitol? Who brought him up? What did they say? What
How did they?
They had
All
to
right,
bring
so
him up.
you know him from.
Yeah. You know him from Selma, Alabama. You know him from the fire hose march. You know him from getting assassination attempts and FBI warrants. You know him.
To just point out how much stand-up comedy has changed in my lifetime, we should play that clip of Sam Kinison doing the Martin Luther King bit.
Oh. Let's do the John Panette bit first.
Let's do the
Chinese
buffet
buffet?
bit. Yeah.
I know. We'll figure out how he came out. All right, Chris, you
How-
can
how
let's
was he-
watch our fight.
How was the intro?
And you just got to find a clip from the New York Times from 1988 where they go Reverend a headline that says Reverend King, welcome to the
who brought him up?
posthumously whatever. Yeah. I don't know who opened, who hosted, who middled that day. whoever, I guess the MC would bring him up.
I
right?
just love how
Not the
everything
middle.
is a conspiracy theory. They no longer want to believe in religion. So, I mean, it's just maybe
It's
the
not
family.
a conspiracy theory.
Maybe the kids were like,
They
we
don't
want
like
Dad.
religion. They don't like religion.
Okay. You're saying all the people that were at the Emmys last night?
Not
like-
fans.
Of religion.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel, not religious.
He is religious.
Okay. What about Michael Anthony?
From
I don't know.
Van Halen?
No, it was the guys you were texting. If we went down the list of
the
everybody.
bass player from Van Halen?
Yes!
He's a deeply devout Christian, if that's what you're talking about.
What about Dickie? Dickie religious?
I don't think Dickie's religious. No, look, there's a push.
Yeah.
There is a push in this nation to go from religious to secular. And it's happening percentage-wise. We used to be much more religious, and now we're less religious. If you watch all the coverage from Iowa, they're up there going, Joy King is up there going, these people are all religious, Christian, white. They're not. Joy Reid, sorry. Joy King is an actual person who worked for a porn company that I knew many years ago, and that was her real name. Perfect. It's like their parents knew what she was going to do.
Could only be better if she was a dude.
Yeah. No, they don't. The Christian white men are like Trump's base, and no, they don't want Christian people. They like to get away from it, but they love. Their religion is college. They love college. They're not into church. They're into college. So it makes sense that the guy who went with Reverend will go with Doctor now, because that's in their world that means more to them than Reverend.
Is this
does.
something you came up on your own, or was this off of a Russian bot website?
I noticed, unlike your childhood, I made it from 0 to 30 with him being called Reverend King, and all of a sudden he became Dr. King, and I want to know why.
Okay.
Sorry.
Here's how it's introduced. Okay.
And help welcome our honored, distinguished guest, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
Oh, it's a split.
All right, but you dropped Reverend and you kept Doctor, and my question is why?
Okay, why don't you ask them?
He was a Reverend. I don't need to ask them. They don't know why they're doing it. They're doing what others do. They don't know why they're doing it. They dropped Reverend because it used to mean something to be Reverend, and they don't like it.
Okay, all right.
That's what it is.
All right, I don't know. My head's going to explode. We've been doing this for 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Well, hold on.
And,
What year was that from? Because were you born yet?
I don't know. It was black and white. Did you? I never saw black.
1967.
I don't see color.
I wasn't born yet.
As Martin Luther would have wanted. Yeah.
Yes. All right. He was Reverend, came first, then Doctor came second, and now Reverend has been dropped, and it's only Doctor, and it shall only remain Doctor. You'll never hear Reverend anymore. Now,
I bet we can find a clip.
if you
within
want
the
to,
last
if you
year.
had someone on the right, they would say Reverend King or Reverend Dr. King, but nobody on the left.
Why does everything have to be just divided?
I don't
right,
want
left,
it that way,
right
but
here?
that's what they're doing.
Who's they? You're innocent?
Yes,
You're just a
I'm
bystander
innocent. I
making
noticed.
observations?
All I do is observe things.
I
That's
know,
all.
but
That's
you
all I
observe
do.
it and you put these spins on it.
It's
that
not
are
a spin. Why do you think they dropped it?
I don't know. I haven't
He's
thought about it.
Reverend King. Why
You
would
just
they drop
dropped
a
this Reverend bomb on me.
Why did they drop it?
I don't know.
You know so much. Why?
I do know a lot,
Okay, then
Adam.
why drop his title?
Because I'll have to think about it,
All
but
right,
and I'll
get back to
research
it.
it because
Research it.
you know you see a lot of things, you see a lot of headlines, and then you can buy into it. Like there was an article this last week that came out. I saw it tweeted about the FAA in hiring, and they're hiring people that are
For DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion.
right.
Your pilots, yeah.
And it seems like on the right, they're saying that they're going to hire people that are incompetent to bring, to direct the planes coming into the airport and stuff like that. And I'm going, this is ridiculous. If they're actually doing this, they're hiring people just to be inclusive rather than the best people. This could be a problem. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. I go on and I research it. I go to reputable sites, including Snopes. It turns out this verbiage has been on the FAA website since 1973. So this is nothing new. So I'm just saying, you got to stop, take a deep
So
breath.
in 1972, they were talking about equity in hiring?
1973.
Oh, 3.
According to, if you go on Snopes.com, that's what they're saying.
We'd have to check.
Hold on.
You got to check who Snopes is, though.
Oh, Snopes is...
Snopes is...
Snopes.
It's like a fact-checking.
Yeah, it's it.
All right.
It's,
So this version has been on there for 50-plus years. Okay.
You remember the first time you ever went on an airplane? It was all-female crew.
Oh, that's the new thing. Yeah.
I don't...
No, I think they're talking about like...
Orny, I can see that the verbiage may be the same, but maybe the way that they are acting on this verbiage is putting people's lives in danger. A bolt wasn't secure on the door of a Boeing 737.
Completely different. That's Boeing. That's Boeing's problem.
No, listen,
and it came from the people that built the door. They just buy a door prefabbed. You've done this before.
I go door shopping for my plane every
You don't
once
make
in a
your
while.
own. You don't make your own doors for your house.
I'm far too busy for
if
that.
one of them blew off, you would blame the manufacturer of the door, not the person that built the house.
I wanted to do Dutch doors for airplanes once. You know who used the Dutch door?
The Dutch.
That's right.
How about this? I'll take it one step further. I wanted French doors. I wanted to, very romantic.
You know what me and my friends call them, Orny?
What?
Freedom doors.
Because we're patriots.
We don't go French stuff.
Okay, well, they're French.
Freedom fries.
Yeah.
Freedom doors.
Okay, well, they're freedom doors because
I'm
people
invite you to the next meeting. We're going to talk about this.
I'd love to go to your meeting. I would love it when you have to hang out with all your Hollywood friends.
It's not a
and you have to sit there and bend over and take it.
Where we're going.
Take it.
It's where we're going.
No, Jimmy, I secretly do love Biden. I'm just not going to say it on my podcast. No, Jimmy, you're just bent over at every holiday party, just taking it. Yeah.
Now you had to go there. Jesus Christ. All right, have fun.
Lordy.
In your car, getting a heads up from a freeway sign 22 minutes from your fucking house. Modest house, I mean. I'll say as well. Listen, it's a good starter.
Low blow.
If my kid was under 25 and lived in that house, I would be very proud of him.
Hey, Adam, it's called a house. It's not a condo.
If he turned 30, I'd kill him.
I think you're in.
Okay. All right. Perhaps we've gone on too long.
This is getting mean-spirited.
All right. Me, Las Vegas, doing my Halloween bit coming up this weekend. I think. Oh, no. January 25th. 2 shows. That'll be at Kimmel's Club. And then Grand Junction, Colorado, at the Mesa Theater. Do a couple shows there. January 26th. 27th. Estes Park, Colorado. Stanley Hotel. Doing a couple shows there as well. You can go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. Orny Adams, if you want to find out where he's booked, you should go to adamcarolla.com as well.
Yeah.
You see some real fucking comedy.
Oh, boy.
No, go to ornyadams.com. He's got shows coming up all over the place. Traverse
City, Michigan.
City Opera House. So bring your fans, everybody. And that's January 20th, and then Chicago at the Chicago Improv, January 25th through the 27th.
Sarasota,
Florida, coming up at McCurdy's Comedy Theater.
Yeah.
Coming up February 16th, 17th through 17th. Until next time, Adam Carolla for Orny Adams.
Come on, how much fun was
and
this?
Chris Maxipata.
Fire it up!
Mahalo.